All right, we are live. Thank you for tuning in. Welcome to Guy Aitchison's Reinventing the Tattoo community, where tattooers, apprentices, collectors, and the curious are encouraged to join in these live streams and real-world events. We share and inspire with ultimately the goal of creating better art and tattoos together. All right, we are live. Thank you. We beam out nearly every day. Welcome to Guy Aitchison's Reinventing the Tattoo community. Get that off there in the background. We beam out nearly every day, and with your help, we've evolved into a quality network of amazing live and on-demand tattoo and art shows. So you're currently watching the Tattoo Collecting Podcast, which is episode number 45. You might be beaming in from YouTube or Facebook or listening to our podcast. But you can always get our latest event schedule and notifications at our official Reinventing the Tattoo community, which can be found in both app stores, Apple and Google Play, or directly at community.reinventingthetattoo.com. All of these Reinventing Network shows, art jams, drawing groups, interviews, panels, webinars, seriously, all of this can be found on demand and in our library as well as our YouTube and podcast channels. We have countless tattoo and art rabbit holes, perfect for your front room of the studio or to entertain tattoo clients. In fact, we're actually beaming out 4 channels 24/7 at reinventing247.com. You can see constant, awesome material. Also, while you're there, you can register for a free goodie bag with samples of Cheyenne cartridges and raw pigments. So I do want to talk about some of our weekly shows and drawing groups. Every Sunday at 1 p.m., we have a Reinventing Drawing group with Jason Lesser. Artists are encouraged to join in. They can beam in through Zoom and share something that they're working on or design for the week. Every Sunday at 9 p.m. is a new show called the Tattoo Weekly with myself, Gabe Ripley, and Jake Meeks. So we'll cover different topics for about an hour. It's a lot of fun. We'll be watching the comments. It's a live broadcast. If you have any stories that you'd like to submit for that, just tag us or send us at management@reinventingthetattoo.com. Also on Mondays at 9 a.m., we have Jake Meeks of the Fireside Tattoo Network with his Reinventing Drawing group. Each Monday at 9, Guy Aitchison is live with the subscribers only for a exclusive exercise where you focus on different topics that build upon each other. If you haven't seen it, we do have videos all throughout our app. Tuesdays at 10 a.m., we have Ricardo Sturdivant with his drawing group. Wednesdays at 12 noon, you can find the Tattoo Now show with new guests weekly. Also Thursdays at noon, of course, we have the Tattoo Collecting Podcast. Tonight at 7, you can have the subscribers only apprentices exercises where we focus on different things where all skill levels are welcome. There are other ways to support our show with upcoming pro development and on-demand shows from Andre Malcolm, BJ Betts, Bob Tyrell, and others. All of these can be found at courses.reinventingthetattoo.com. And as I mentioned before, this is a free community. Thank you to our sponsors. So we also have World Tattoo Events. They're the largest, most comprehensive resource for tattoo events worldwide. So lots of stuff is updating with schedules, and as conventions are rescheduling like crazy, that is the spot to go. Inkjet stencils, you can find them at inkjetstencils.com. You can print stencils from your phone or computer and save your time, hands, or your apprentice's hands. Webinars and free samples can be found in our app or at inkjetstencils.com. We have Raw Pigments, an ink company that's tapping into the source with acrylic-free pigments that have been impressing artists across the globe. Find them at rawpigments.co or this weekend at the Chicago Tattoo Convention. Delize Pro, known internationally as Dermalize Pro. Protect your art. If you're using saran wrap, watch some videos of tattooers to see what it's all about at dermalizepro.com. And of course, we want to say thank you to Tattoo Now, which is tattoo technology for tattooers. And the founder and inspiration behind Reinventing the Tattoo is Guy Aitchison. You can find his biomech encyclopedia, DVDs, machines, paintings, and all of that at guyaitchison.com. We also have our affiliates, the Fireside Tattoo Network, the Apprenticeship Diaries, and eco-friendly tattoo-supplies.com. Now, I know you guys are enjoying watching or listening to the podcast, but we do have some real world events coming up. The most important would be the Paradise BYOB, October 3rd to 6th. A lot of the people that you guys are seeing on some of these live streams will be there, hoping to convince Jordan and Fond to go as well. Lots of seminars. We've got Nick Baxter, lots of different stuff going on. November 12th to 14th, we have the Brussels Tattoo Convention. Again, Nick Baxter, Ivana, and Gabe will be doing seminars. We'll be beaming in an art jam, subscriber exclusive meetups, and all sorts of stuff. Next May, we have the Hell City Tattoo Convention in Columbus. Lots of different stuff like that coming up. We hope to see you guys. We'll be talking about these events more as time progresses, and I know Hell City is a big one with you guys. So before I go any further, I'm going to hand it over to Jordan and ask how you guys are doing today.
Hey, Lauren. Yeah, we're doing pretty good. We got a special guest today.
We've got a jackhammer across the street.
Yeah, a little bit distracting.
So it's gonna be a little bit noisy today, but we're gonna get through it.
Yep, we got some questions. We're gonna talk to me today.
Yeah. Aside from all of the commotion and noise, can you unlock that and I'll airdrop this to you?
Yeah.
So this is episode 45. That's a pretty big deal. We're getting up to big numbers, Jordan.
I know, 5 weeks from 50.
And that means we've been doing this for almost a year.
How many weeks are in a year, Fawn?
I think the only week 52 or 56?
52.
52.
That's
52.
wild. And we've been on it like church.
Yeah. I think except for the week of Christmas, we've been weekly every week. So it's kind of cool. Got some big stuff coming up. So today we don't really have a guest. It's just me and Jordan. But as we were sitting here kind of like preparing and getting ready for the show, I think it's been a while since we've had an episode where it was just you and I and we didn't have anybody beaming in or joining us. So I think it'll actually be a really good chance to kind of recap Jordan as a collector.
Yeah.
So
I think that's not a bad idea. I'm here for it.
So what's been going on since last week?
Since last week,
Yeah.
I've done a few projects.
Anything new?
I worked on so yesterday was a fun project. That was that Grim Reaper.
I didn't even get to see where you got with
some
that.
pictures on here. We'll bring up pretty soon here, but
Okay.
Whole Grim Reaper butterfly female thing. I drew it up years ago, and then finally this. It was weird because the client, it was just like a random person I ran into like at a gas station years ago. I didn't even know that until she brought it up. She's like, "Oh yeah, no, I met you at Michigan. You just talked to me about tattoos for like 5 minutes at a gas station, that I worked at in Grand Rapids." Like, I didn't really remember it or anything.
She's
I
been
remember
following
that.
you ever since.
Right. And then, I guess waited years until she could actually like afford it and get it all. And and that was, that was our 4th session we've put in on it. It's a large piece. So, I mean, it's bigger than most people's back
it's
pieces.
Big. It goes like
it's
knee all the way up.
She's got a big thigh. So it's like, it's definitely bigger than my back.
You think?
I would say.
You think so?
I think so. When you
It
got
is a
that
big
whole
surface.
booty down to that, I would say it's probably about that size.
Yeah, it is a big surface area.
What else? Oh man, some awesome geometric pieces. I'm just starting them left and right lately. I feel like
Nice.
I haven't had a lot of finished projects lately. It's been a lot of starting every week. I feel like every week I start 1 or 2 probably.
Nice.
New geometrics
Good.
projects lately.
I haven't started any new projects in so long. I've just been working away and trying to complete stuff that's already in the works.
I'm starting to really be conscious of what my new projects are and what my in progress ones are. So I'm not, because I mean, every tattoo I draw, definitely I'm spending, anywhere from 3 to 8 hours drawing it,
Mm-hmm.
Almost always, 3 to 8 hours for whatever, especially if it's a full sleeve.
Mm-hmm.
So it takes, a day beforehand to draw it up.
Mhm.
And if I got that back to back to back, it just I end up with
A lot of homework.
0 time, pure homework. And like, don't get me wrong, sometimes it's nice just to be like on like that, but also got a life outside of tattooing, got other things to do.
We don't have lives outside of tattooing. You can't do that.
We attempt.
You can't do that.
We try.
We should have lives outside of tattooing.
Yeah, no, make sure you have a life outside of tattooing for all you tattooers out there. At
Do
least
what we
some
did.
semblance.
Start a tattoo collecting show
Right.
instead.
That's enough of a life. Oh, what else?
I worked on Laura yesterday. She was our guest. She's been on a few times now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Working on her. I didn't even get any pictures at the end of the day, but we were working on
You guys
like
did
this
that coral
tropical
reef?
paradise. Yeah, the upper half is like a tropical paradise, and then it flips to an underwater scene. And we're building. What we worked on yesterday was like this like family of sea turtles. It's like disappearing off into the distance, and then there's like some temple ruins down underneath there, and then we'll have like some volcanic rock and coral everywhere. It's gonna be great.
That's awesome. I didn't get to see the whole coral reef part without you hadn't wiped it yet.
Yeah, we got a great start on
It
the
was all-
lower
it was all
the
still-
lower half of the sleeve. I'm
still
really
stencil.
excited. I think maybe 2 more sessions. If we have like another mega session like we had yesterday, and then 1 more session to go through with like the finishing touches and like bright white highlights and darkest darks throughout the whole piece. So I'm thinking maybe 2 more sessions and it'll be done.
Yeah.
1 more like meat, getting color in there, and then 1 session to just polish the whole thing.
That's awesome.
The upper half looks finished now. Like I got to get in close and see little areas that I got to go in and refine and do
Yeah,
things.
I just love the perspective on it because everything in the coral reef is so close up and then everything's so far away up at the top. You know, you
Yeah.
get the whole landscape of everything with, you know, the little structures you have.
I'm going to carry the light rays down from the top too. So there's going to be one
It's gonna
light source
play in the
focal
water.
point. Yep. And they'll start dancing down there. So
Pretty
it's a
cool.
cool thing to keep in mind, like, because I work off of like all kinds of different photo references that we gather, and like whether it's freehand or whether I'm just like cheating and making quick stencils off of like posterizing photos. Man, where was I going? You warned me about this weed.
Oh yeah, that's good. It's good.
You warned me about this weed. Oh, it's nice to keep in mind, like from the start of a project, where that like light source is going to be. So like on hers, it's like dead bang in the center of her shoulder. So no matter what I'm drawing or where it is on her arm, I always know that that light's going to be hitting certain sides and certain points. And then once I get the whole thing done, having that one unified light source for the whole sleeve is going to give it so much cohesion and continuity all the way up.
Oh, it's
I
gonna be
don't
so
always
much fun
have
to
the
play with.
option.
That last session's gonna be so much fun to play with.
Yeah, I don't always, and that's where I'll get in and like noodle the bright white highlights and things like that all throughout. But not all tattoo projects evolve in such a way that I can do that. So when I have the ability to do that, it's just like, here we go. This is going to be a believable brand new realm. Are you ready?
Right.
Let's take a trip.
Right. Yeah, no, that's a really cool piece. There's so much to play with. So like it's such a daydream. You can definitely like get lost in it.
Yeah.
I think being an artist is like the most fun with projects like that because you get to be the one creating everything and going through and just like, oh yeah, that little area right there by that little bush and that structure, like that little, you know, thing. I'm gonna add a little fucking thing in there.
Yeah.
You just get to exist in these little places.
With her, she's already got such a fantastic collection from so many good artists. It's like there's extra pressure on because it's like, here we go.
Right. Right.
I can't, you can't drop the ball when somebody's already like a collector of fantastic work, when somebody's got like a whole bunch of tattoos, but like they don't have that like really nice, like showstopper piece, like the pressure's on you to give it to them. But when somebody's covered in showstoppers, yeah, it's a different kind of pressure.
On.
It's a different kind of pressure. That's all I'm saying.
The pressure.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I still do it. I still have fun, but like, it makes me want to like bring out all the tricks instead of using some of the tricks. I got to use all the tricks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you have projects like that where like, all right, this one's going to be ultra extra. I feel like the one yesterday that you were working on is kind of like,
I mean,
that
that one
ultra extra.
definitely. She's got other good work too on her from a few other artists, but I wouldn't say any other like crazy like showstoppers and stuff. Some good stuff, but yeah, I just feel like this piece that I'm doing, I just got to live up to the piece that I made a few years ago. I spent so much time on it. It was just like a real fine painting basically that I worked on. And it's so big, so it's just a lot of time. It's probably one of the biggest pieces I've had to do that's more illustrative like this. But it's just so much. It's so much fun to work on. It's got me wanting to do more pieces like that. It's just the amount of time that it takes me to draw some of that stuff. I think if I did it more, I just tend to do so much geometry nowadays. It's fun to step outside my box. I'm really enjoying color.
What do you think flows easier for you, or you just like playing in the other realm?
I think they both flow pretty. I feel like pretty easy, but I don't know. I think it's hard to say because there's two different things. I think what comes easiest to me would be like the color work, bioorganic work, things like that. Things that I could literally like, well, illustrative stuff's one thing, but like bio, like I could start a bio piece without even, sharpieing on skin first. I would sharpie on skin first, but I feel like that's how natural it comes. It's so easy to create from nothing. So I feel like that's my most freestyle that I have myself, where I feel most comfortable playing in. But the geometric stuff, I got a huge comfort level with that, and I love that, but it's also very careful. So I have to be a lot more, surgical with it, which comes naturally because that's what like I've done my entire tattoo career. So it's what I like the most. It just doesn't feel as like organic and free, where I can just like be like, oh, well, I decided I didn't want to do it like that, and I'm going to do it like this now.
Right. No, you're already in, you're committed, and you've got to see it through.
And it's got to be like, printer copy what it is. You can make it better and get organic with all sorts of shading that you can get in there. But what's there is what's there. You're not going to diverge off that path too far. And I like that. I feel like it's a cool right and left brain split for me.
Nice.
I don't know how I think eventually there'll be this cool merger, and I think it'll naturally happen. And I think it's happening. I just, it's so much fun to like mess with the cybernetic style that I got going on. It's so much fun to still do more mandalic, like almost like Hindi style of like, stuff. And
but it's like techie. It's got such a like robotic Jordan feel to it. It's not like I don't want to sound derogatory when I say this, but it's not your cookie cutter mandalas. It's not your like, you can't see some of the geometric work that you're doing. You're not just going to find another similar tattoo like that. Like you might find other geometric work, but you're not going to find like,
yeah, well, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Right? It's just not cookie cutter. It's got a lot of different flavors to it. You use a lot of just different like visual eye candy in different shapes. And I think it gives your geometric work like a special feel. I think that's why people come to you for that, is because your geometric work is a little bit different than a lot of the other geometric work in the city immediately around us. Wherever.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, it's got its own flavor. So I know in our talks, you say a lot of times that you wish you had like more bio projects on your plate, and wish you had more like color illustrative projects, but there's definitely something really special about your geometric work. And I think a lot of people that follow you see it. Like, the more of it you do, the more
and I mean that's
of you is in it.
Absolutely. And it's funny, that whole split that I got between the styles and how I feel about that. But most people, recognize me for that, and they come to me for that. And I appreciate that. I love it. And so I think it keeps the bio pieces fresh on the side. Maybe if I did them all the time, I would feel a little bit, I don't know, I'd want to do the geometric stuff,
Yeah, I think there's definitely a market for mixing them though. I mean, look at like Brian Geckel's work. He's like
I definitely look at Brian's work a lot. And that's,
combination of bio and geometric really and ornamental. And I see a lot of similarities in your work and his work. However, your flavor is totally different. Like we were talking about Frank's Red Hot and Sriracha earlier.
Right.
Totally similar, both hot sauce, but two totally different flavors. So I guess as much as you enjoy doing the others, do them as often as you can, take on those projects when they come, but like feel free with your geometric stuff, because there are certain things that you do that other people don't do. So feel free with that. Like,
thank you.
Yeah. Don't get discouraged because it's like another geometric project. Why can't this be bio? Because I feel like sometimes that's how you feel. Like, why can't this be a rad, slimy bio piece with teeth and a tongue and snarls? And then there's a beautiful geometric, like mind-bending thing.
There's a tiny part of me that can feel like that, but I'm so grateful for those geometric pieces. Like, and when people come to me, they don't even really like I realize they're giving me more trust than I even think they're giving me. I'm like, they'll have a few references, and I'll be like, okay, they kind of want to look, kind of look like that, and then I'll kind of talk to them about it. I'll be like, I'm gonna kind of do my own thing, and they're like, please, like totally,
Do you want to pull up that drawing that not the drawing, but the tattoo that you worked on yesterday?
Absolutely.
Jordan, pull up this. Oh, you don't like seeing that?
I can't see the buttons on the bottom with the iPad there.
Oh, I see.
Unfortunately. And my mic keeps going out. TikTok. Back.
He's back. And he's
Screen.
back.
And I'm back.
This really is a cool piece. So we've been talking about it. So I feel like we need to take the time and share it.
Okay, well.
Don't get dizzy.
Screen sharing. Instagramming. There's a button getting blocked out by something.
Sorry. Let me move this a little bit.
Okay, so here is one.
Oh, wow.
That we've been
You got
working
really
on.
far with that yesterday.
Thank you.
I didn't even get a chance to see it at all. Nice. That glow around the skull is looking great.
Thank you.
Yeah, you guys really got far.
Yep. Yesterday we did, from right here, all of the robing and stuff down to here. We got a little bit more to go. I got some more gradient and some smoothing out. I only got dark purple in there. I would like to get in there with some lavender, lighten it up a little bit with some of this in some areas over here. A few things, tighten things up. And then in the end, there's going to be a lot of sculpting. I've only got like one solid pass on all the lining. I can't wait to get into the sculpting of the lining.
The sculpting of the lining. For a tattoo collector who is not a tattooer, as tattooers, we talk about sculpting our lines, crisping things up, second layers. What does that mean? Because clearly it's already lined. So when you say you're going to sculpt the line, if we're talking to a collector, what does that mean?
If I'm going to sculpt the line, that means I'm messing with the line weight of the lines in general. So, I want, I'm going to change the thickness and the thinness of some. So I get a push and a pull.
So you're
between the
actually
lines
come through
themselves.
with a bigger liner and make some of those lines a bolder, richer black, and
Yep.
some of them will stay nice and thin and soft.
Exactly. You're right. I
Nice.
want my delicates to be delicate, and then I want there to be some real bold ones that are gonna just make what's popping out pop out
It's one of
even
those
more.
things as artists, we
Just
talk
look
about that
nice
all
and
the time.
dark and stylized. I can
Mhm.
feel the crispiness of it, because in the drawing that I had, I spent a long time really sculpting the lines of everything. I drew it probably as big as I'm tattooing it right now, and I spent a while doing that line work, and I had a lot of fun doing that, and I haven't spent any time doing that yet on here. It's just so big that even getting the lines done on that was a 5-hour session.
Yeah.
When we had the stencil.
Yeah, no, there's a lot going on in it, but it's really starting to, now that you've got enough color in there, it's really starting to the characters are starting to play off one another. Looking good.
Yeah, thank you.
Ways to go.
Yeah, I was really
but
happy
it's
with how
looking
the
good.
skin tones turned out too.
Mhm.
I got some more to build on that I would like to polish off. But I was happy that was the first time I've used the skin tones from Starbright. And
So
I'm happy with
remember
that.
how I was talking to you about the lavenders for some of the shadows and
Yeah.
skin tones? There's a couple of raw colors that I got to show you. They're these two really smoky, beautiful.
Okay.
They're just the perfect cloud and shadow purples.
Okay.
I got to show them to you.
Yeah, I'd love to see it. Here's another little. Here's another project.
Yeah, this one's looking cool. I was actually zooming in on this. I didn't realize when we were just looking at it at the shop. I thought it was just straight honeycomb, vortexing into itself, but it's a really cool pattern that.
Oh yeah, it's got
that
this kind of
tessellates.
teched out pattern.
Yep. Nice job.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. Yep, we ended up drawing, we got this on here, and then I ended up drawing the rest on there, so it filled out his the rest of his arm nicely. And then cut some of it off. It came out down to here, out farther, and then I just cut that off so we could do some more.
Chop flip.
He came through for a 2-day session. We got this done. This right here took 1.5 days to get done.
Now, are you coming in with a mag and putting grays in there also, or are you stippling with gray?
I'll stipple with gray,
Okay.
or I'll mag. I'll come back with a mag too over some of the dots and stuff. Yeah, I thought I sent some of his elbow too. The elbow was a cool piece that we laid out. We didn't end up shading any of that. We just kind of got that in at the last
Mhm.
thing because that's going to be one of the overlapping things that I want. So we're going to have some tessellations coming through. We got a plan for a few different things. Another mandala that's going to be over here. Some tessellations that go up, but we want them running underneath this mandala. So I got that first. Now here's a fun one. This is a cybernetic piece. I like to call it a cybermech. Basically, we're going to go through and, it's going to be pretty solid black work all through. But I'm going to try to build some shades and stuff in the negative spacing. And so come through once this is all black, then in the negative spacing come through with a few like gray washes and stuff to kind of just make a push and pull of like the vibration off of it. If I had like a whole circular shade coming through that just in the background. But lots of pieces in progress.
So I see you scrolled down to a back piece.
You didn't see that.
It's okay.
You didn't
We
see
can
that.
start talking about that. So, Jordan, I just unplugged my mic, fidgeting. Okay, I'm back.
It's
So
being weird.
I think the jackhammering might have stopped. I haven't heard it in a few minutes.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy about that.
So let's start from the beginning. For those of you who haven't been listening to us, like from all the way in the very first, let's go through like our gauntlet of questions, and let's start with your artist lineup. Who all's worked on you, Jordan?
Who all has worked on me?
Who all's worked on Jordan?
So I have a sleeve by Stephen Wheeler. He works out at Sacred Expressions in Grand Rapids. He does a lot of like Polynesian style work. And he did my left arm. And I got Adam France. He's done my right arm. We got a full biomech sleeve. Yeah, I can't really show it right now. We're in the screen share.
We'll get to it.
We'll get to it. Yeah. I still, I don't know. I feel I don't almost don't want to show it off yet because it's still not done. We still got more to do to it. Adam's going to be working on it when he comes here in August.
Nice. I thought he had a trip coming up soon.
Mm-hmm. And so I'm going to be live painting at that festival with him. That's like 3 days after that, I think.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. We'll see how that goes with the healing sleeve.
The Adam arm that we're talking about is actually a lot more complete than it is in this photo. That was before he came through and did that layer of volcano work up there.
That was it.
Yep.
I can't see it back there. That's
Yeah.
filled. That spot's filled in.
Yep.
No, dope.
Dope.
I don't like that spot. I don't like it.
Oh, it's got to be done though.
I was looking at it though. I thought that was still open right now.
Yeah.
So I got a few pieces, some big pieces on my leg that I did myself, and I might get them
pieces
removed.
that you did yourself?
To be honest, I kind of like the piece, but I think I could either do something better. It's just a matter.
Would you tell?
I want something different now.
Let me ask you this.
That's my problem.
Would you tell young tattooers to experiment on themselves, or would you tell them to save the real estate?
Save the real estate. Save your real estate. Do whatever you want, but I mean, I'm happy with the tattoos I have. I just think I could have just tattooed, got an apprenticeship and tattooed other people properly and just done that properly. And then you don't build any bad habits and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a lot of things where you think when you start doing things like that. And then, I don't know, might never unlearn them.
Might never unlearn them.
You might
ain't
not
not
ever not
never
know it no more.
Not learned. Ain't not never learned.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if that's what you want to do. Some people are into it. I don't want to say don't do that because.
So what do you think about these like TikTok videos? Like, oh, I just got my Amazon tattoo machine. And then like for the next 2 months, all it is them posting tiny little bangers that they're tattooing on themselves.
I've never
over
seen
and over
that.
again. You
I've
haven't
never
seen
seen that,
that,
but I don't think that's a
You're
good.
not diving deep enough down the tattoo rabbit hole then.
I haven't really. I don't spend any time looking through TikTok lately. I just use it for my videos.
Honestly, I'm probably on Instagram Reels more, but TikTok sucks me in, man. I will get lost in TikTok. It's like I blink in 3 hours, it's gone. What was your first tattoo?
My first tattoo was on my wrist.
Did you do it yourself?
Right here. Let's pull the screen share off. If I can figure it out. So my first tattoo was on my wrist. This is the sleeve that Stephen Wheeler did. And I'm pretty happy with everything. I really like this sleeve a lot. But I did my hand, and there's a lot of blackout work that was just stuff I did early. And so right here, you can't see it, but there's like there's a snake head, like a flaming eye, and and it's spiraling into like a broken infinity.
I see it.
And then there was a Vajra in the center. And the Vajra is the same thing I got in the center of my hand. So the Vajra was this in the center of that. So it was the two flaming eyes and then a Vajra. And it was in glow in the dark ink too.
Nice.
Because I thought it was cool. I was like, oh, glow in the dark ink. I'm
Do you like
I'm
that
18.
Do you like that still shows through a little bit, or would you rather it be blacked out and smooth?
I'd probably rather it be blacked out and smooth.
Would we do your upper arm?
Or
we
if
can do that.
I don't know. Now
we
that I
could
know,
like black
I know
it out and like pull this into deep black. You know what I mean? Like embellish what's on your hand and pull it into heavy black.
Yeah, I think that's kind of what I would want to do, is just work from the hand and really get kind of blended into that better.
So I feel like I know the answer to this question before I ask it. What's your favorite tattoo?
My favorite on me?
Yeah.
Oh,
Out of your collection. Do you have a favorite?
I mean, I think I do have a favorite.
I
do
know
have
the
a favorite, and I think I don't know. It's hard to say because definitely love Adam. I love Adam and I love my arm. But Guy has been working on my back, and so we got some pretty cool stuff going on with that. Let me go back to that.
Back to the screen share. Your favorite tattoo. What was your most difficult sitting?
My back. I don't know.
So it's your favorite.
Well, my chest. Oh
and the
my
most
God!
difficult.
I'm sorry, Nathan. I have a big chest piece by Nathan as well. We didn't talk.
Did you send any pictures to it?
I didn't. I couldn't. That
Lame.
picture. It's kind of deep in there.
Lame.
I'll
You show off
find
your
it.
black nipple all the time, though.
Yeah, and I can just show people on the camera. It's an easy one to show. I feel like the ones that are hidden all the time,
Jordan's
you gotta
gonna
show.
take his clothes off.
Yeah, you gotta show them with the back off. Like, hey,
Always
have you seen
taking
my
his
back?
Clothes off. I like the like 3-dimensional pinstriping that he did at the top. I just love that touch so much.
I do too. I think it's just got that really cool, like wispy flow, like it's just being like spurted right out.
How'd that go?
A little spurt of energy going right out the soul.
I don't think that's the noise I would have imagined, but that's all right.
Nope. But it got that idea of like something squeezing out, squeezing and pushing. So it becomes super thin because it's just getting squeezed right on out of there into something beautiful.
All right.
I don't know. That's just what I see when I look at it right now.
Fair
It's fun because I never see it, and now we take the time. I don't even take the time to sit and really look at the pictures of it. I just know it is what it is. So it's fun taking the time to actually break down what my back is. Such a funny thing.
And there's a couple major cover-ups in there, which is mind-bending.
Oh man, especially if you've seen what they were before that. Like right here on my left shoulder, that this was, what is this, the Polynesian side? Yeah. So this was just a big Polynesian shoulder piece. Lots of solid black. Never thought I was going to get rid of it. And like, I don't get me wrong, I like Polynesian and all that, but like it was, I don't know, wasn't done the way I necessarily wanted. And just was blown out. Not a great piece. And he is a fucking master. Look at that. It's gone. And I'm sure we'll come back at it in the next session. We got one more 2-day.
What was on the other side?
It was an alien. It was a sugar skull alien.
Of course it was.
And you know what was right next to that got covered up?
Another alien.
Another alien. Just kind of peeking through.
Nice.
Oh, it's so funny.
How many alien related tattoos have you gotten? You got crop circles.
I got the crop circle. Got that. So 3.
Okay. Oh, it's not so bad.
3. I got an owl on my leg, and I got an owl because I don't know. They made me think of aliens back in the day.
Owls.
Yeah,
Okay. Why? How?
just
how
because
come?
barn owls got those almond eyes.
Okay.
And I probably watched the fifth kind, fine, the fourth kind, or whatever, too many times.
Oh man, barn owls.
Almond eyes.
Do you have any tattoo regrets?
Yeah, the ones I did on myself.
All of
Probably.
them?
I mean, not all of them. I wish I had. See, I wish I would have had somebody else later on in my life do the tattoos that I got.
Okay.
So I wish that the quality was there. I wish that the way they held up over time was a little bit better, and I wish that I would have planned for those tattoos in a way that would have like just held up over time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I would have spaced like for my hand. I would have spaced things out more. I would have been more, would have understood more of how the palm reacts to ink, and just would have chosen a different way to go about it.
Instead of how many
Jack-
times? How many
literally
times did you go over
jackhammering.
your hand?
Like three times. I spent like, and I was really young into my tattooing, so everything took forever. So like 3 times I spent like 10 hours, like just
Oh, man.
jackhammering my hand.
I mean, it looks crazy.
Like what's there is there. It ain't going nowhere. But
What about your fingers? Did you do your fingers too? Oof.
I'll probably do some like blackout work with those.
Crazy.
Yeah, I'll do something brutal with it. I'm so excited to get to more projects, though. I
Yeah.
can't wait to finish my back, but I want to get to my neck.
What's next after your back? Do you have any ideas? Like, have you thought that far ahead? Or
I've got to finish my hand, but we probably just lump that into the whole sleeve thing. But hand's got to get finished. I can't wait to have that. I want leg sleeves. I want to start working on my leg sleeve by I don't know. I really want Marcus Leonard, but also Jesse Levitt.
Are we still screen sharing? We're still screen sharing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay though. Marcus Leonard, Jesse Levitt,
but I don't know exactly what's next. I could float working on my neck soon. I feel like now that I got my chest and I got my back, working on the neck and my sleeves.
What do you want to do with your neck?
Something geo or bio.
Okay.
I think something
both.
Something.
You need something that's both. You need like some gnarly bio hooks that come up with some rad.
I need something glowing, probably.
Glow. Yeah.
But I also kind of want it scary, like black worky,
like Jesse chakra look like
Jesse Levitt with if Jesse Levitt like could picture a throat chakra, glowing, dark, could be kind of slimy. Bright.
A slimy.
It would have to be a blue.
Chakra.
There would have to be like a blue or turquoise glow. It would have to be that. It's got to be throat chakra. I've always wanted that, but I used to always think that it was going to be like a reticello style like pattern, you know, just like that sunflower style pattern going out from there. But I don't know. I'm really split between 2 and 3D, and I don't think I want to do like Russ Abbott geometric 3D or like a like Mike Cole style.
I think we should
because I really want like scary bio,
gray hooks.
But I want it to just really kind of make sense too. And I want it to blend into my chest as well.
Yep. I'm deciding for you. You should get slimy black and gray hooks with glowing 3-dimensional geometry in there. Either like plutonic solid
like coming down
or
the sides of the neck there like that, hooked in. Yeah, I feel it.
See, I actually imagine the hooks like coming up and curling out, so it looks like your head's been like whoop. No.
Yeah. Yeah, I could definitely.
We've decided what Jordan's getting for his throat tattoo.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if he's really going to do this. It could be the weed talking.
We got special guest Emily Kohler with us now. She stepped on down. Emily, would you like a mic?
Sure.
Oh, we getting her a mic and some headphones.
So that means Jordan's going to step away. He's going to step away and set up a new situation. The mic's right there. It's close. He's got to do some slimy gray tentacles hooking up and making it look like his head's being shot out and then glowy stuff in behind it.
Pretty gross in a cool way.
Yeah, I think that's, you kind of really hit on something that I would get totally.
I mean,
I like that idea a lot.
I could see it happening.
2 hooks coming in from the side here.
All right.
Fawn, can you grab a headphone?
Which ones? These ones?
Who? Yeah, that's what we were gonna get to next.
What?
Who would do the throat piece?
Yeah, I would.
But Jesse, love it. Oh man. But also, there's so many awesome, scary black work artists. But Jesse's work is really awesome. Are you familiar with Jesse Levitt's work?
I think you've shown me some stuff. But
Go to this page. This is who should do your
Oh
throat.
my gosh, that's who I was just thinking of in the back of my head, but I couldn't think of his name.
Yeah, this is who should do it.
Yeah.
Look at his throats. Like, I could totally see that being on you. Stepan.
Steppinger.
There, him. That's him.
Oh.
Pull him up.
Oh, I clicked on it. I didn't think it came up. Or I thought it came up. Okay, yeah, see? Yeah, I would. There we go.
Ooh,
This is literally.
like that type of glow. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, see how it's
Oh
like
my
a
God. That's so
beautiful,
funny.
soft black and gray,
This
but
is
that
exactly
brilliant glow.
what I see when you said that. And this is exactly like what I have in my head.
That's what I think you should do with your throat.
Ooh, that's how excited I am about that. Wow. Well, thank you.
Well,
That's so cool.
Jordan, you got so excited you made a mess, buddy.
I know. I dumped my Red Bull out.
Buddy, what happened?
So excited,
I,
no.
right?
got excited.
A little piddle.
So, yeah, this is, I think, something like this on your throat. You choose a glowing color. I mean, have you seen Nathan's stuff that's kind of up this alley?
Yeah. I love Nathan's work that's like this as well.
Just,
Didn't you talk about getting some glow in on your chest?
Yeah. That's one of my next as well is definitely having Nathan add like a green glow behind everything.
yeah.
We're
what
gonna
if
be
you
like
just did,
right around heart chakra area. I know he doesn't look very heart chakra-y, but he needs a green glow.
He's the protector of the heart chakra.
Exactly. You get it. But
yeah,
I think
you could have
I think
like
underneath's
a green
gonna be some.
transitioning into a frosty blue at the top.
Mhm.
Ooh.
I think maybe you should just talk to Nathan about these ideas.
Yeah. I think I
Or
think you're right.
where's he from? Is he Russian?
That looks Russian. Very Russian.
Or you could hold out and go to Russia. I want to get tattooed in Russia.
See, something I'm willing to do. I mean, look at his work.
Look at that neck.
Ooh.
I mean, look at this
I
entire
like how
back
I like
piece,
how
but
he used the red lighting in the room too. Well, that's a
nice touch.
Yeah.
Yeah, tasteful.
Very
Noted.
nice.
Very noted. We see what you did there.
It really sets this glow off though.
Mm-hmm. It makes it look like you're looking
Like
through him.
like it's literally glowing.
Mm-hmm.
Great photography trick. I'm gonna steal that. I need to get some fucking better lighting.
Look at this knee, this pink knee down here. Check that thing out.
God dang.
Poof. Yeah, see those hooks? I could imagine hooks like that coming up your neck.
Yeah,
I could see it.
Hell yeah.
it's gonna happen. I'm not looking forward to the pain of it. I'm really not. I don't think I'm gonna like that. But it's what we do. It's what we do.
Is it funny that like all we do is tattoo and build tattoos
That's
and
so
talk
awesome.
about tattoos, but no matter what, like we're always still looking forward to the next idea and planning the next things.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that crazy? Like even like you're in the middle of a big project right now too. Like being in the middle of a big project, you're always still like, all right, once this gets finished, then I'm gonna do
Oh,
this.
yeah.
Right.
So many
We're always
plans.
thinking about the next one.
Yeah.
It's so hard.
I think that's the crazy part that everyone says and jokes about, like, oh, once you get one, you're not gonna be done.
Yeah, no, it's real. It's
I
very
mean,
real.
it's not real for everybody.
Not for
but For some
everybody.
people, like
But I can definitely see. I never understood what that fire. Like my aunt told me that. My aunt took me to get my first tattoo. She takes all my cousins to get their first tattoo, and like I think she was trying to get us all to really love it. And I think I'm the one who fell in with it and just running with it. She's like, "Trust me, you're not gonna want to stop." Turns out,
yeah, this is
Right. Right?
This is one of my favorite artists that combines
Wow.
like grotesque black and gray with very bright, energy filled color.
This is just spectacular. I
Mhm.
just love that blue.
Yep. And I mean, it seems very monochromatic, but like when you look at that, that's probably 12 different blues to achieve that into
Yeah.
the black and gray. And that's what makes this like you really,
It looks
seems
seamless,
simple,
like-
but you really got to understand color theory and warm and cool to be able to pull these things off, which makes it that much more impressive to me.
Absolutely. Look at this fine texture in there.
Yep.
That's my favorite. The things that just pull together probably in that last
Mhm.
session.
That like ultra focus in some areas.
You can
where-
tell he probably pulled out like a, 5 round shade or 7 round shader and just probably nicked that little stuff.
Yeah, but it makes that whole form underneath it just look like it's tucked so much further back and further away. There's
Mhm.
just so many cool tricks that he uses and he just pulls them off seamlessly. I love it all.
So bony. I just love that, which makes it look so organic.
Ooh, that's crazy.
This one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That hole in his shoulder
Can almost
looks like
hear
a
it.
hole. Looks like I could put my finger right through that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when you see giant bold
So
tattoos
cool.
like this, it's amazing what's possible when you're when you consider getting tattoos that are that large. Some of these tricks you can pull off some of these tricks in a small tattoo, but it's not near as impressive as like the whole limb or the whole body part.
Yeah, I just love how dark he gets with the blues back there. So much depth. In a random one. Nice. Oh, he did this little thing there. Oh, I thought he did all that. That's funny. It's like, someone please get this.
And then there's Rick and Morty with Dark Side of the Moon.
Right.
Perfect.
We'll get along.
Look at those giant blossoms. Again, that's the freedom. When you work with an entire limb, you've got the freedom to make things so big, and like when things are that big, they're like super ultra like hyper believable. You know what
Right.
I mean?
Look at ultra big is right. Look at that. I didn't even realize at first that was a
whole
girl,
body.
a hip, and a whole body. Okay, well, we're just gonna take all of your ribs and your entire stomach, and we're gonna turn it into a giant go ahead. And like your whole ass, it's gonna be a horn. Say no more.
I got you.
That's crazy. Yeah, when you're willing to use space like that, shit's gonna look so good forever.
Bananas.
Bananas is right. Yep.
Yeah, that's a pretty rad throat piece. I think something like that would fit so beautifully with what you already have. I don't know if beautifully is the right word. Grotesquely, disgustingly, it'll fit disgustingly.
grotesquely acceptable.
It will fit disgustingly with what you already have.
Perfectly gross.
Disgustingly
cool.
harmonic.
When Toby worked with us, I would always like look at his creepy, disgusting black and gray work, and I'd be like, it's disgusting.
It's
And he'd like
disgusting.
giggle, and he'd be like, why, thanks.
Oh, okay. Now we got to bring Nathan up.
I also love all the cat work.
Yeah.
Right?
I love the
Let's take a moment.
I love the dichotomy. I like cats a lot, and I like creepy dark work.
Yep. Got to stay well-rounded.
It's
I
so
love that.
good. Just look at that
It's
wine
so
bottle.
Right.
Like before we even get to the cat. Like,
It's even
let's
got
just
the
look at
little. It's got the
wine
little
bottle.
indent on the bottom. He
Yeah.
probably got that in there.
Mhm. And it's got the little sparkles in there,
And
the
little
fizzy
nail.
lifting drink, and this little splatter up at the top. Like
So
that is
perfect.
a fantastic wine bottle. But oh wait, there's more. This cat is even cooler.
Look at his eyes.
So perfect. They look so glossy.
They're so happy. So
See,
glossy.
this is a super good
Gets
example
so
of
much
what we're
emotion
talking
across.
about. This guy probably loves doing bio day in and day out, but he's probably like, I want to do something colorful and funny
Right.
sometimes.
Right. Here's the result of that.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. I love that.
Oh, I love the green.
I like the warm and cool on that one in the bottom corner
This one?
over here.
This one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, look at that. Just like you,
Wow.
fun.
I mean, sort of.
Except a little bit more grotesque.
It's just my pitties.
In a beautiful way.
It's just my pitties that are warm and cool.
Isn't your whole I guess you have you got pitties and then you got opposite on the chest? Is it pity like
I've got this big glowing
it's
flower,
cool, it's
and then
cool
the
colors
opposite
there.
side is cool.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. They're opposite.
So right here you got cools and then you got warms.
Yeah, I
like
got
cools and warms.
Warm here, cool here,
Gotcha.
and then cool shadowy greens, and then the hot glow
Okay.
here.
Okay.
Yep. Balance.
You've seen Fawn's pitties, didn't you? Haven't
Yeah.
you? Crazy.
Yeah.
You're out of your mind.
Adam's been posting a bunch of cool pictures about your chest.
Don't
and
I
stuff
look like a
recently, too.
corpse?
I was
I'll be like,
you look mighty
look,
still.
look, I'll be scrolling and I'll be like, look at that corpse that kind of looks like me. Oh, Adam's posting stuff again. It is cool the way that he's
Something
like
familiar about that corpsey looking body.
like gathered batches of project photos and he's gone from like start to finish on
Yeah.
whole projects. It's really cool that he's taken the time to do that. It reminds me that I could take the time and do that while I'm in this limbo where I'm not really posting things because I'm in like progress on so many projects. I'm
Yeah.
trying to only share when I finish things, but you know, I could go back through my timeline and do the same thing and pull out progress photos, and because I'll take time lapse videos and things like that here and there.
Yeah.
So if I start,
I love the Instagram
sharing
Reels
all
and
of
the
that.
TikTok video things because now throughout all my projects, I'm just taking a ton of video,
Mhm.
like short clippy videos and then just like pictures and stuff. And then like when they're all done, I'll be able to go through and I'll be able to just type in the date of when I did that. So it's not, I don't have to always just go scrolling like crazy. I can go to the date I tattooed that person, get those,
yep.
and then be able to like, because even like the project I'm working on yesterday, it's going to be so cool because I've gotten video and stuff from each project. You know, we got 4 sessions deep, or probably be
Mhm.
6, you know, 6, hopefully 6, I think is going to be our number on this one.
Mhm.
But yeah, having the entire progress in like one whole swoop would be really sweet,
Yep. I like
and do that with almost
I
every
like the
project.
presentation.
Um,
It shows a lot about the process
project.
too. You know what I mean? Like it shows what can be accomplished to go from like marker to the first couple of sessions where like it looks like a disaster to like the second and third sessions where it's like, oh, okay. And then the final session where like, wow, that's fantastic. I don't even remember what it used to look like. And then you go back and you look at like the very first like scribbly marker drawings. It's like, wow, we got this
Right.
from that. Like I feel like that with my projects because like I see them all, like I see my tattoos every day, and like I mean I remember what it was like getting them, but like at the same time you forget what they look like on the in-betweens, you know, you forget. So to go back and see the process and see like what my entire leg looked like when it was just like dark green and light green marker is fun. Like that was like several years ago, maybe
Mhm.
7 or 8 years ago, but to go through like that whole 4.5 year process in a few days on Instagram, that was kind of cool.
That is cool.
yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I'm living that life with my leg right now. This is my first multi-session project.
Mhm.
Or well, I guess not. My back was, but I didn't see that. So I guess I didn't really even see what it looked like when it was in between stages. Cause like I said, I'm not looking.
You never get to see it.
Yeah, but it's funny. I have people ask, like, is it done? I was like, no, this ain't gonna be done for a long time. Like, they're like, oh, so what's up with that line? I'm like, this is just how it starts. They're like, well, I saw the color on it already. And I'm like, yep, those are markers. Like, and I didn't know any. First time you brought out markers, I think on this one, I was like, what are the markers for? This is interesting.
Right?
Like,
It's in a Sharpie. I'm like,
yeah. So I think it's cool to see the whole transition, especially for people doing their research and new to tattoos. And I feel like you've been getting a lot of brand new clients just right from like have one small tattoo and then going into something big. And
Mhm.
I don't know, for me, it's helpful seeing those time lapses and seeing like, oh, to get to this awesome, beautiful stage, you have all of these stages,
Mhm.
you know?
Right. Right.
Yep. It's crazy to watch like the time lapse videos too. Like sometimes I even go back and watch my own time lapse videos and it's like, it's crazy. It doesn't even seem like it was my hands that did that. That's a cool thing to like,
Yeah.
where'd it come from?
I
Where does
love
it
being
come
able
from?
to see myself work like objectively. It's just something you never really think of. And then you're like, oh, that's how I do that. That's what I look like while I'm doing that.
I see
But
like
I think the TikTok
That's
videos
the
are
artist
fun.
in you guys.
the
You know what I mean?
photos that like my clients take of me and then they share them. And then I've always got like this, like my concentration look. I make some of the funniest faces, and then like I sing and I like hum and I make weird noises while I work. So then that makes for even like weirder faces,
Right.
like as if my eyebrows don't already do enough crazy things.
I know. I'm totally
So,
not
like-
conscious of what my face does while I'm working. Like I will snap too and realize like I've been like just like tightening my face or something like that, or my mouth just wide open or something. I'm like,
Put that back where it belongs.
or the big one for me is flared nostrils.
You flare your nostrils when you concentrate.
Mhm. I think so. I push them down. I got a muscle behind it that I push down.
Hmm.
Mm.
So Jordan,
We might need to relight that one.
got this guy here.
Oh, it's gonna work much better.
So you have been hitting it pretty hard. You even got Red Bull over here. Jeez.
Don't hate.
So I'm not hating. I just didn't realize it splattered that far.
I didn't either. Oh my goodness.
So you've been hitting it really hard. You've been collecting a lot the last couple of years. It seems like you've always got an appointment on the books. So as you've been collecting more heavily like this, how has it changed you? Or how is it changing you?
I mean, I guess there's a couple ways it's changed me. You know, definitely like confidence level with my body, big time. You know, just feeling super confident when, you know, I have a shirt off and not really caring so much about little things in my body. I see the artwork on my body. I don't see like, you know, what I worry about, you know, with like if I feel kind of like fat or if I feel skinny or something like that. Like I see my artwork.
You feel that way sometimes?
Maybe a little bit. Not really. I feel like as a
I'm
human.
just saying.
I feel like everyone does.
All right. I feel like of all the things for you to be like, I'm feeling a little fill in the blank, my guess would not be fluffy.
No, yeah, no, I don't feel that way. But you know, when you get a little pooch,
Mhm.
and you're like, oh, my pooch is getting bigger.
Indeed.
Oh yeah, no, I don't know. I'm not too worried about those things, but I definitely tattooing has just made me more confident in general.
Mhm.
I think there's you know, stronger spiritually in general. I think my pain tolerance, which I wouldn't even associate with what, you know, my pain tolerance is higher, but my ability to like deal with pain in one moment and deal with just like having to deal with stress, I feel like it's helped that a lot.
Mhm. What do you,
But,
when you say
there's-
spiritually? What do you mean? What do you mean? How has it developed you spiritually?
I think try to keep a centered mind in the middle of like a storm, you know, when something's going crazy, you know, you got no choice but to center your mind,
Mhm.
you know, in some way. You know, it's not like you can get up and be like, ow, ow, ow. You know, when you're moving around and shit, you're not centered. You know, when you're just sitting there like still and having to hold still during something that's just so terrible.
Because like the only way to get over it, once you've committed, the only way to get through it is to sit there and just get
Do
it
it.
done.
Right.
Like
So
the
it's just like-
squirmier you are, the longer it's gonna take. And like for
More
me,
painful.
being a very ticklish person, I get so frustrated when I'm like squirmy and tickly, and
Like when I
because I know I'm making it take longer. I know, like, and then it's like, oh, just sit still.
Right.
Like, no artist that has worked on me has talked to me like that, but that's how I like talk to myself. It's like, why can't I sit? Like my clients sit like corpses. One time I was like throwing a fit to Adam. I was like, I'm sorry, man. I'm just like wriggling all over the place. And I just kept apologizing. He's like, dude, like, if you weren't moving a little bit, we'd have a bigger problem. It's like, you do have a point. I am a living, breathing thing
Yeah.
with reflexes and all of these things that my body and brain do that I don't consciously have any control over. So like there was a point where as a collector, I kind of needed to be reminded, like, just relax, just relax.
Yeah.
The more you relax through it, the more like gifts you're given from it. You know what I mean? Like the deeper down that rabbit hole you can get, and the further you can push your
definitely.
body, and the further you
feel
can
like it's
push your
kinda-
stamina.
Yeah. It's just such a meditation. I feel like you can feel when you're getting really off. You can feel when your mind's starting to go wild. And when you're, you start getting more jumpy and start getting more quick to move. Your thoughts start racing quicker and you're like, oh shit, for me, it's like, oh, I got to come back to center. That's always my feeling. Like I need to, I'll start just spiraling out of like just feeling the pain. And I realize that like I'm starting to get jumpy every time or something, or like even in my head, I might not be really doing anything, but in my head, I'm like, fuck. And then I realize like, okay, just relax. And then you can like take the pain a lot better, and it's still the same pain. And that's when you like, for me, those are always those times when I realize like, oh, it's just such a brain game, because like it feels in my brain worse when I'm getting all tense and when I'm like spiraling. And then it, as soon as I relax, the pain is still there. It's just not as bad. My brain just makes it so much worse.
Ain't that a metaphor for life in general? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Perception.
Just
Yeah,
go
no
with
kidding.
the flow, and no matter how bad it is, just
Right.
go with the flow.
Fighting it makes it so much worse.
Yeah.
Right.
Go with the flow, be productive, don't fight it.
Yeah.
That's kind of life advice.
Yeah, I think for me it's like the concept of like grounding. I feel like that like let me bring myself back to center is like, oh, let me ground myself real quick, because like I realize like, oh, I've almost like spiritually, like I'm like floating into the air, you know what I mean? I'm like, oh fuck, and then it's like, okay, put my feet on the ground, we're here, fucking do it. It's really funny because I'm not someone who like sits and meditates through my tattoo sessions. Like I can talk about it being a meditation, but I don't sit there and like, try to do a whole meditation, because the more I do that, the more I just focus on the pain. I don't want to like focus on the pain. I want to be able to deal with the pain while it's happening, but I'm not like, oh, let's focus on it and explore that. Like, I don't know, I've done enough tattooing. I don't need
check
that.
out when I'm getting work done. Just like I've mentioned time traveling. If I could time travel for a tattoo session, like just give me like a 7-hour jump. Just give me a 7-hour jump.
Right.
Can I just get that?
Yeah. But what I was going to say is that, I don't quite meditate like that. Sometimes I'll do a little bit of like breath work and stuff, and then I'll realize like, whew, this is making it worse for me right now, because I'm just focusing on that, and it's constantly bringing me back to the pain. But what I do is like a mudra type thing. What I do.
Thank you.
I love to do. It's what I love to do.
I whispered it.
Thank you guys. It had to be, someone had to say it. Is I hold my fingers together like that, not to like bring any like spiritual energy together or anything like that, but I'm sure it does. I'm sure it brings plenty of spiritual energy together. But like pressure points, like bringing somewhere, it literally like puts like the pain, like it gives me this. If I hold one, it throws me off. It's like I'm going
Hold
like
your
this
hands
way.
higher. The
If I
camera
go like
can't
this,
see what you're doing. I just keep like crab clawing him. I'm like,
right? I know. I'm like under this
higher.
thing over here. But yeah. I just hold my fingers together like that. I feel like it directs the pain like into my fingers in some way. I don't feel it in my fingers, but having pressure there is like, it's almost like how you cringe your toes and stuff like that, and you put like pain or stress into somewhere else in your body, or like tap your fingers or something like that. It's like that, but with my fingers, and it's light and it's subtle, but it almost gives me something to explore, like when I'm doing it. It feels like a meditation.
To like curl up into myself. I like to just like curl up into the fetal position, and that's all I want to do. I feel like that's more like the position of defeat. Like, I retreat, I surrender, you win. You win.
Right.
I don't know if that's the right mentality to have for a long session, though.
I definitely had a you win moment, like when Guy was tattooing my back, the first 2 sessions that we did. Yeah, that was super intense. The last, definitely like the last hour, I had a tear come down my face. I just like, it wasn't even like, it was the pain. I reached my pinnacle of like what I could take. And I was just like, I was totally done, but I just felt like, holy shit, like just the pain like that in general just like can bring up emotion, and it just had like a emotional breakthrough. And it wasn't like a sadness or like oh my god, I was so much pain. It was just like a fuck, I am at my literal, like my most broken down, like never been in, so you know, where you're just in the most pain you've ever been in, but like mentally you're just defeated. You're exhausted, you're done. But I feel like it's almost like super cleansing to like hit that moment and then bounce back, and the feeling you feel as soon as you're done, and you're like,
then you got to
"Oh."
come back the next day.
Right. That was I think that's like the end of the first day.
5 more times after.
No tears since then though, but
You
I
handled
feel like
the last
I
one like
feel
a
like-
champion.
thank you.
You painted during it. You painted an awesome painting.
Thank you. Thank you. That was fun. I realized that paint, like, as you know, I don't know if you're not an artist at painting, I don't know how you're going to accept that while you're doing it, but it wasn't necessarily more fun to paint, and it didn't make paint not there, but it made it so much easier. And it might drive an artist crazy because you're not going to be able to paint in so many positions. But luckily, being working on my back, I could like put my elbows down and then have my hand supported from that, you know, crab like that while he's working my back, so I could take the movement away from it, and I would just dot like crazy. Just
I love the way you've got like this veil of smoke around
Right.
you right now. It looks really nice. It's nice.
Thank you. Thank you. Fitting.
That's our fog machine.
Yeah.
It's a special effect
Yeah.
feature.
Yeah, fog machine.
Yeah, that's what it is.
For the celebratory blunt session episode.
Yeah, this is our celebratory episode where we smoke the entire time.
We were talking about this before the show. I was like, how is that different from every week?
And I was like, what do you mean? I'm like, we're gonna smoke blunts the entire time this time.
And I'm like, but like,
And she's like,
The
we already
same
do that.
picture.
I'm like,
should
I'm
we
like,
have
no, the
two at a
entire
time
time.
going?
whatever you say. Same thing. Tomato, tomato.
I mean, I'm with it. Yes, let's smoke blunts. The
Celebrate.
entire episode, Jordan. That
Yes,
sounds like
thank
a
you.
fantastic
That's all I
idea.
wanted. That's all I wanted.
That sounds
Thank you. Finally,
wonderful.
Finally, we can roll a blunt.
We're 4 blunts deep in an hour and 10 minutes, Jordan. 4. That's 17 minutes a blunt. 17 minutes a blunt. Should we have 2 going at a time?
Oh,
Your eyes are all red right now.
I'm not even
so-
high. What do you mean?
What do you mean? What do you mean
I
you're
like
not
to,
high?
I like to dream. I
Jordan,
like to dream.
where's your nectar collector? Oh, guys.
Oh.
I broke my
Uh-oh.
nectar collector this week.
Aw.
Lame.
Moment of silence. For the
Right.
I
pour,
mean,
pour another one out on the
Yeah.
table for the homie.
I dropped it. I like hacky sacked it off of one knee, then the other knee, and then I like kicked it with my flip flop 2 times. And then it bounced and it bounced again, and then it shattered. Ah,
I survived so much.
I thought you had me there. Good news is
New one on the way.
I haven't ordered a new one yet. I think I'm gonna go to Hetty's Hideout and get another
Nice.
small travel device. You know what?
I like the
I ha-
donut.
Yeah, I really
Yeah,
like
I
the
like it
donut
too.
because it keeps the splatter from burning my delicate palate.
Good palate.
I like the grip on it.
Yeah, it just and like it holds the nail up just high enough that it doesn't burn anything. It's great. But anyways, that's the second one I've had, and only $20.
Oh, yeah.
I love the titanium nail in it though, so I kept that. So I'll just keep that nail rolling and
Hell yeah.
get another $20 nectar collector.
Get it.
I'm still so sad.
Yeah.
I'm still so sad about it. I
Been
hadn't
through a
even
lot
had that.
together.
I hadn't even had that one a long time. The old one
Oh.
I've had forever.
Did I ever
but
tell
it's
you
like
about
held
my,
together with plumber's putty. It's like the plumber's epoxy. Like
Yes,
it's
you did not
hard.
need to
It was
use that.
already. It was
Heat
already ready.
resistant.
It was already ready to go.
Well,
It was
that's why I
ready.
got a new one, but I broke the new one.
Oh yeah,
I still
forgot.
have
No,
the old one.
yeah, I
The blue
forgot.
one.
The new one wasn't the one that was broken.
I broke it.
Did I ever tell you about the one that I had
Pieces.
custom made? Either of you? And then I had a
Nectar
nectar
collector?
collector that was custom made. Yep, I had my buddy Kairu Glass that I showed you does all the both. I think I showed both of you guys does all the like you guys know Salt, the glass blower.
Yeah.
He does a lot of like Salt style stuff, like really like
I actually
monstery.
just saw a
Like,
really
it's really
cool
bioorganic.
Is that for your
salt
other piece as well?
grass
Yeah, Kyle did that
collab
one.
today. It was like Grasp is like a painter and glass artist, but it's like this vessel, and then it has Salt's teeth all over it. It's like a beaker kind of shape, and then Grasp painted all over it, and then like filled
Hell
it
yeah.
full of sand. So it's like this desert scene with. It's cool.
Nice.
That's really cool.
Hell yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. I love Salt's work. Kyle's looks a lot like Salt's in a way, but Kyle's definitely his own. He does so much stuff, but Salt's the only other person that I know that does like monstery style stuff. So just real monstery. But what I was gonna say is that he did a whole like reef scape on this. So it was a nectar collector. It was like this big. It was a big one, and all around it was like seahorses and corals and like little Nemos and like just all sorts of cool shit.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and then one day it broke.
You want to pull up this Instagram? I just sent it to the Tattoo Collecting Podcast page, and it's a little video of the piece I was just talking about. So when we talk about Salt Glass, it's actually an artist, and this is an example of his work, but he does all kinds of crazy sculpted work. Look at it.
All right.
I've actually, so beyond Grasp, one of my clients hipped me to his work, and I've tattooed a lot of his work on
Oh, I love
said client.
I like that he's doing he's filling. That's a whole little sand thing.
Yeah, see how it's like a scene. It's like a desert scene now with teeth
That is so
and
cool.
a UFO.
That makes me want to do a really cool sand project like that.
See?
We
Isn't
Oh, I
it
miss
simple
sand.
and colorful?
could probably
and
get
That's
like a
like-
really cool, like, I don't know, make a cool contraption to hold the sand, and then go get a bunch of colors of sand and do that.
Yep.
That sounds fun.
Yeah.
Those were all the rage in the 90s.
It's just funny that you mentioned Salt, because this has been on my mind all morning.
Let's bring in Salt just to see.
Boom. I get so much inspiration for my work from glass art.
Ooh,
Look at
That's
all those
wild.
teeth
that's
and tentacles.
mean looking.
If that ain't bio, I don't know what is.
Oh my
Look
god.
at those eyeballs.
It's a collab with Randall Glass as well.
Mm-hmm. If that ain't bio.
I'll tell you what.
I just love all the
Damn.
colors he uses.
Crazy.
And he uses a lot of like he rolls things in frit, which is a really cool
That's
way
so
to achieve
cool.
a lot of cool color combinations and textures. I wish I was a glass artist like this.
This little,
What kind of creepy things would I make?
little monkey dude.
It's a sloth.
Oh, it's a sloth.
Yeah, man.
Oh, look at that. Sorry, coughing right into the mic.
You're the one that wanted to smoke more blunts. You're totally the one that wanted to smoke more blunts.
It's the day to smoke blunts. It's episode 45.
Why is 45 the blunt episode?
Why not?
I suppose that's as good a reason as it.
At least we're smoking blunts finally.
I mean,
Look at this. He's got brushes. The man.
look at
Oh,
those
that's
makeup
awesome.
brushes.
That's
I'd be so
wild.
afraid of dropping them.
Yeah, right. I'm not good enough with things for that.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
see me drop my
Just in
paintbrushes
general.
and fling them
Yeah.
and use them as drumsticks. Awful.
Now let's look at Kairu, my homie.
That one over there reminds me of
That's
Our
cool.
Real Monsters. Do you remember that show?
Yeah, no, it's funny. He used to talk about it all the time. He loves that show.
You can tell.
I see it.
Yeah.
I totally see it.
in the best way.
I've seen it fucking shatter so many pieces like this. I used to feel so bad.
I mean, that's part of the magic with glass is
You spend
even
all
if
day
you do
working on
everything
something,
right.
but it cools unevenly in some way.
Mm-hmm. Disgusting. Is this who made your nectar collector you were talking about?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's got a whole that tattoo's not by me, but he's got a whole other or a whole sleeve that we're working on that I'd like to finish on him. It's a whole octopus, like coral reef sleeve.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
We've got the octopus in red so far. We've got a lining session and that. So 2 sessions and probably a 4 to 5 session. Oh, there's old Kairu. Stephen Wheeler did that one. But this is the old Sacred Expression studio.
Nice. Look at that. Is that a Delta GTT back there?
What?
The torch.
Oh, I don't think this is actually. No, that's not sacred. I think so. I don't know a lot about torches, but that sounds familiar.
I could spend all day looking at glass art like this.
I wanted to look at Nathan Marty's work again too. We can get to that. Back to tattooing.
Back to disgusting tattoo art. Jordan likes that.
Yeah, I see that.
That's the only one I've memorized now.
There's an applause button too.
I can't wait till we should get a whole soundboard where we can do quite a few different things.
I mean, we can do 4.
We could do 12.
We've also had 45 weeks to record tracks, and we haven't yet. So we could start with 4.
Right?
12.
Manageable.
12. Yeah, those you scrolled past them already, but those first couple were really good examples of that colorful glow. Disgusting. I really like this new. He did a new project on Jess out in the warehouse.
The geometric stuff he's doing.
Mhm. It's kind of experimental. I hope he does more of it. I think it turned out really nice.
Yeah, has he posted any pictures of it?
I don't know.
There's Nathan.
I wonder if she's got pictures of it up.
Who did Nathan's arm? Is that Guy, or is that Adam? Is it Guy and Adam? Because I know he did Guy and Adam did his back.
Maybe it's Phil Robertson.
Yeah. Nathan's back was what I seen when he showed me his back. I was like, okay, yep, Guy's doing my back, 100%, 100%. I remember the day he showed me.
Oh,
there's
Jordan.
That's me.
Look at how short your hair was.
Right. Little curlies.
Why is your throat so red, Jordan?
Because he was choking me.
You're like, because I have been just been traumatized. The worst.
I wouldn't sit still.
Where'd your nipple go? Where'd the nippy go, Jordan?
Right?
Yep, that's why. I was fighting him. I think it's right there. I don't know though. Could be in there somewhere. Or maybe right there. Crazy.
Jordan, talk to us about what that day was like.
Yeah.
What that day was like?
Yeah, do you think that day was
So
do you think the first rough session with Guy was worse?
I think
than that day?
I think my chest piece was a worse tattoo than my back in general, but we spent more time on my back so far because we put in, I don't know, 30, 40 hours in my back. So altogether, it's like hard to say because I've just went through more pain. But pain in one instance, the chest, the entire thing sucked. All of it.
The
There was no
entire
real
thing
good
sucked.
spot for sure. Just felt like I was going through it the whole time.
Even like in the big open areas of like the pectoral muscles.
I think I remember those being a little bit easier. I think I remember the easiest spots being the ribs, honestly. So down near these tentacles back here.
That's where you were catching your breath.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Fawn's like, oh fuck. You don't feel that way with your chest, especially having fucking two people jackhammering.
I feel like I've only had one session that like really put me over the top, and that was a session with my chest.
With the pain flowers.
Yep, that was.
Does Emily know about the pain flowers?
I walked away a totally different person.
What happened?
Well, so I'm just laying there minding my own business.
Not hurting no one.
Not hurting no one.
Not hurting no one or nothing. There's two men with their brutality machines.
Annihilated your soul.
They didn't annihilate my soul, but I boarded the pain train that day.
Was it Adam and Ty?
Yeah, I boarded the pain train that day, and I was along for the ride.
Bumpy ride.
We could have stopped. But we kept going. This is the thing. We could have stopped, but we kept going. And then we kept going, and then it hurt even more. And then it was like, it got to the point where like I felt defeated. And then it got to the point where it was like, I don't want to say out of body, but it was definitely like, I don't know. I hadn't experienced DMT yet.
But your pineal gland was flexing.
I had not
But you were
experienced-
hallucinating.
Yeah, I had not experienced DMT yet, but that day I had experienced DMT. I was definitely
that was
flying
me
down the
with my
DMT
nipple
tunnel.
on this piece.
Yeah, and this was
honestly.
like the
Mhm.
bottom of the sternum, like the solar plexus. It was the worst. And I'm not even like heavily tattooed in that spot, but that's the worst. Like I'll take the upper sternum, I'll take the collarbones, I'll take the armpits, I'll take the underbreast, I will take the nipples pretty bad. I'm not gonna say I'll take the nipple. The nipple's pretty awful. But I'll take any of the rest of the chest.
Did you get
But
your nipples
that,
covered?
like,
Or are they open?
so one is mostly blue, and then on the other side it's like they took a similar fleshy color and then pulled the color of my nipple out, so they're like blended in, but like
Not directly.
yeah
Okay. Not totally coated, but like
right, one's enough,
just worked into it.
one's all you need.
Yeah. No. Yeah. That's
Seems to be the case.
One's all you
Just
need.
one.
One.
Oh man. Just one is right.
Yeah, that
I was out of my body when I was getting that. Like it was probably, I don't even know how long it took. Could have been 30 seconds, could have been 5 minutes, but it hurt. It fucking hurt. I realized that day how many surfaces there are on your nipple too. So you got the flat surface, and then you got this whole cylinder. So you just got all the way around the cylinder of your nipple. And then you got the top of the nipple. So there's just so many different spots of different types of
Crevices.
pain, right?
This might be a weird thing to say, and this might be a little personal for the show. However, I've never been more thankful to have small nipples in my life. Never, ever, ever. Oh, thank God there wasn't a lot of that tissue. Thank God.
Yeah.
I don't know how, like, some women have very large nipples and areolas, and then they'll get like a mandala tattooed over it. I don't know how they do it. I don't know how they do it. Like I can't even like wrap my head around like a liner precisely lining over
Agreed.
top of that tissue. It's so
It's so soft. Too.
yeah, like the breast tissue or the pectoral tissue like right next to the nipple is sensitive. It's pretty tender, and I honestly thought that like, oh, it's not going to be that much worse. It's gonna be worse, but it's not gonna be that. I was wrong.
I was wrong.
I was wrong.
Very
I
wrong.
was wronger than I ever been wronged before.
Yeah. Like I said, I was just sitting there.
Minding my own business, not hurting a thing. No one. Mm.
Please don't hurt me.
No, but the day that I kind of like had been put over the top, that's the only time that like I physically was like, I need a break. I need to catch my breath. I was like trembling. I was like, I mean, like shock symptoms were there. Like I really physically needed a break. So we go outside, and as soon as I like sit down on the sidewalk, and this was the old red tree, so I'm like just leaning against the brick building. I'm already sitting down and everything just starts spinning, and I start seeing like little like twinkly stars, and I was like, oh no, I'm totally gonna pass out. I didn't.
Did you go
but
deaf?
My ears had been ringing for a while before I was like, we need a break. I was past that. Like
Right.
my ears were already ringing before I was flying through the pain tunnel.
I've been deaf.
Yeah, they've been downloading stuff into me for a while now. It's like, okay, no. But they came out, they like cold compressed my neck and head and just like babied me. Just I've never seen Adam baby anybody, but he and Ty just like babied me and helped me back into the studio and like helped me like recenter. We did call it a day. We didn't get back into it after that break, but it was a rough day, man. Like that day I was pushed to my limit, and I've had longer sessions than that, not on my chest. I've definitely had longer sessions on my back. I've had longer sessions with two people. Tofi and Russ worked on my leg for 9.5 hours, and that was like them constantly. Like there were parts of my chest where it was like both of them would be working at the same time in opposite areas, and there were some parts of the chest that were so intense it could only be one person because I just couldn't physically handle it. Like I thought I could. I was wrong.
Right.
So, but when Russ and Tofi working on me, it was on my outer thigh. So it was like basically the whole upper leg that's visible from the outside of me is the whole surface they tattooed. And it was both of them working on me the entire time. Like we took breaks together, but like it was two people tattooing me the entire time. And, manageable up until like the last hour. It was really very manageable and doable. The chest just, it sucks the life out of you, man. It took me somewhere else, and I don't know.
Emily, do you have any ideas for your chest?
Probably just more cybermech.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. That's what I want. Yep. I want.
It's
I
we
just
got your
like
whole
all the
leg to do, but I'm
styles.
like, let's start that tomorrow.
She's gonna be like cyborg plant lady.
Yep. A little bit of everything.
Cyborg nature.
Yep.
Nature borg.
It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
We got a mineral mech leg.
Mineral mech leg. I want my other leg to be Geo. And then I want this arm to be my weed leaf arm.
Nice.
And I have a couple artists in mind for that.
I
But
saw some fantastic paintings of weed in a dispensary out in Vegas.
yeah,
It wasn't the best dispensary I went into, but it did have the best art.
hey, they're doing something right.
Yeah, but it was basically just a nug that was painted super close up, super hyper realistic, but like
We were
all of
talking
the
about that.
trichomes were like
Right,
starting
right.
to
Just
color
big
and
paintings on
be
the wall
iridescent.
for places like that.
And then the background was just like a bright orange. The one that was my favorite was orange. It
Oh,
had this
yeah.
like coral orange background, and then this just neon bud, but all the hairs were all different colors, and it
Oh.
was just beautiful. And like you could tell somebody like really enjoyed themselves while they were
Yeah.
painting this. But like to take something of that scale, this painting was probably like 6x8. It was really big. But to take something like that and just like wrap that and turn that into a sleeve would be really cool. Like
Oh,
just super hyper close up, where like each trichome would be like 2.5, 3 inches. Could you imagine all the glowing iridescence and tiny little universes that could be in the top of each one of those little globules?
Right.
Not that I've spent time.
Right? I was
looking.
gonna say.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Oh, weed art. We've talked
Yeah,
about.
that's what literally we were talking about the same thing in dispensaries and just like painting big giant paintings of weed
Mhm.
and just making paintings of weed and then selling those to dispensaries and stuff, and how there's probably a good market for dispensaries that want fairly nice looking just big
High
paintings
end.
of weed.
Yeah.
I feel like with the
Absolutely.
projector it'd be wouldn't be too hard to bang out. Let's
There
take
we
a
go.
very nice photography and very nice pictures of it,
Mhm.
and then just take those, project them on a canvas. I'll do that. We'll
There
sell
it
them to
is.
dispensaries. Can help me with that.
Oh. Look. See how
Oh,
big?
it's beautiful.
See how it's giant.
Yeah.
And then each painting had like a different color
That's
theme.
very
Yeah.
love it.
Let me see.
I should send it
Show the
to.
camera.
I'm gonna send it to the.
Show the camera.
I'm
Oh,
gonna send it to the Instagram page.
oh, I got. Look at these whole families down here.
I know. Everyone's
Producer
sleeping.
number 1 and 2.
Man, my animals have been kind of crazy lately. How have yours been doing?
Drowsy has been a sweet little boy. Honestly, getting him fixed was the best thing ever.
Fixed it all.
And then he got really sick for a minute, not because of that, but
Selfishly, he was so nice to me when he was sick, and I miss that.
yeah, right. He was so nice when he was sick.
He was just like
wanted all
sleeping
the
by my
love.
side every
Yeah.
night, like curled up in my knees, just wanting to be close, knees all over. He's doing so much better though.
Mhm. Yep. So on another animal note, I was watching the pistol shrimp and the goby. Oof, man, they came to the front of the tank and they were just playing around together, doing something.
That's a victory dance.
Yeah, that's
They
pretty
just-
much what
they
it
just
was.
buried 2 of their tank mates.
Right.
I dug out the conch earlier today, and we don't know what's up with Starfish. He might be. I watched the shrimp.
I saw his
That
little
fucking
tentacle.
I can't tell if he's reaching out for help or if he's hiding and like, stay away.
Right.
It's time will tell.
I don't
I
speak their
think
language
he can
yet.
pull himself out. I think he
I
should.
hope
He should.
so.
That's what I'm hoping.
I think your pistol shrimp needs obedience lessons.
I think he needs to go in the tank alone. Teach him a lesson.
Yeah.
I don't think shrimp work that way, but
Goby would be too sad.
yeah, make her grumpy butt even grumpier.
Yeah, it's so funny how they follow each other around. So a goby and a pistol shrimp, a watchman goby and a pistol shrimp, they follow each other around. They have this symbiotic relationship, and they go everywhere together. Like when that shrimp was walking around to the front of the cage a little bit ago, I was going to talk about it, but I was like, no one can see it. But yeah, they were just together, hanging out, doing their victory dance,
Mm-hmm.
victory laps around the tank. They fully buried him.
I sent that picture to the
Yeah.
Instagram page that we were talking about. There was I think there were 4. There were 4 different ones. There might have been more, but there were 4 different ones, but each one had a different color scheme. That's the corner of my sunglasses down there in the bottom for size reference. I had to chop my buddy out of it. He's like, I can't let my friends know that I eat edibles. And I was like, friend, welcome to the party. Nobody cares.
Right.
I feel like this would be a lot of fun to paint.
But just all those little details and leaves, all the little fuzzies. The one on the way out the door, I couldn't find a picture of that one, but that's the one where the trichomes were even mega closer up.
Yeah.
Mm.
See, I love the ones where, you get the up close shot of this, but then see all the fan leaves in the background. And it's like that, like, I don't know, that blurred out. What do you, like how
Right.
you
I
did with
forgot.
the mantis?
I forgot what that.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I forgot what that term's called, but yeah, the background's blurry.
Hyper focused.
Yeah.
So, Jordan.
A bokeh. That's what it is. It's called a
Mm.
bokeh.
I did it again.
What'd she say? I don't think your microphone's working right.
There we go. I did it again. I got to find a new fidget because I keep pulling the cord out. So, have you discovered any new artists this week?
No,
If not,
I'm
if you want to
not.
scroll up, I've got a couple.
I've not been doing my social mediaing very. I
Well,
just haven't been looking at people.
it's fair. But I've got some artists.
It sounds
The-
bad, doesn't it?
There's an artist that the guy that I sent to you.
Too busy.
Keep on cruising, keep on cruising.
What do you need?
Keep going. Keep going. Stop.
Oh
there.
yeah, you show me this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
Go to this
I
guy's
did
page.
learn this guy. Pieces on the middle of his arms. Oh yeah, I love this guy's work. I do know him.
But I was just blown away at what he's doing with his freehand. I like the way that he takes the time and he's showing these pieces of the process, but he's taking the time to build these
What?
grids
What?
on the body.
No,
And then he's building his tattoos off of that. So he's laid out his own isometric grid to work off of. And I think it's fantastic.
that's insane.
That is wild.
That's fucking nuts.
Not that I often do geometric work,
Just
but when I
imagine the
do, I
time
love taking
would
the
take
time to
so
do it
much
like
time.
this. It takes an incredibly patient client as well. Some clients just kind of like
Right? Are you
get
cool with
frustrated
paying
with
for the
it.
entire first session being all drawing?
I mean,
Yes.
you know, I've got
Normally, that's kind of what it is anyway. I mean, if I'm drawing out a whole sleeve, it's going to be most of the session's going to be drawing the sleeve, and then it could be 4 hours of drawing an entire Biomex sleeve, and then we honestly tattoo line work and shading for 2-3 hours.
that's fair. Sometimes the thought takes longer than the actual commitment.
I'm sure he's got a system down too at this point, where he can get these grids down really fast. And once he's got the grids,
I mean, there's no substituting. He's just drawing those grids on with pens.
no, for sure. But I mean, like, he's done this a lot, so he's got the muscle memory of
He's finding the
Kind
center
of,
lines and
right. He knows
Mhm.
how to base things off each other and just get what he needs down, and then just continue with a pattern. Because everything
I love
flows
it.
so perfect. You couldn't get this perfect with a stencil. You just couldn't.
No.
He's achieved a result that's just you can't get without grids like that. So it's definitely his own, and something hard to.
Yeah,
Yeah,
keep
yeah, I
scrolling
know.
down.
That's
His work
fucking-
is just super impressive.
that's
I just
insane.
couldn't believe that I hadn't discovered him before this week. Look at this fractal art. What? Blackout works beautiful and velvety. Love it. And I like that he's got like a mix of super intricate things like this and big, bold black pieces.
That's dope.
Yeah. So funny how much space is under the chin like that when it really stretches out.
Mm-hmm. I love it. There's a little bit of it looks like white over black right there in the middle. That's what I want to start playing with. I've got a few blackouts in the works, so it's coming along little by little. Time schedules.
Mhm. I start a big
You know.
blackout project this Saturday.
What are you blacking out?
A triple cover up on somebody.
What body part is it?
Giant back piece. And along with just turning their whole body into kind of like a
Crazy.
a
Good
whole
luck.
black suit. Yeah.
Good luck.
She knows what it's going to take. She knows. We're going to
Get
get
one of those little masked jackhammers that you were playing with. Put the heavier battery pack on top.
Mhm.
Set it slow and go to town.
Yep. Gonna get it in there. Nice and
Mhm.
velvety smooth. That's really cool.
It's a really nice integration of like, again, like going from the solid black work to very soft patterns overlapping. It kind of, some of these kind of remind me of Cassidy Bell's work too.
I feel like I really want to. inspires me to take a lot of time to just sit and draw on people's skin without even tattooing, just like sit and spending the time practicing new things on the skin. I do a lot, I'll practice new things like on when I'm drawing digitally and things when I'm actually drawing, but nothing beats like actually practicing these grids on people. I think that's so awesome.
Fortunately, I don't think your partner would think it was too weird if you were like, hey, can I just draw an isometric grid on you to practice drawing an isometric grid on you?
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Usually kind of how it goes. And I search around for markers and I'm like, oh.
Yeah, just start getting comfortable gridding out pieces and parts of the body.
Because if I could get comfortable making a grid, like once I get to this point, oh man, the amount of freedom I can have with that for me is like right now, what my problem would be is how long it might take me to get to that point. And then drawing, everything else. And then tattooing, and literally like I just need to build a flow with it and get comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's really cool.
Yep. Now the stuff that I do, even with my like nature scenery, sometimes even with my outer space pieces, stuff like that, I'll lay out a grid. It's not near that tight, but I do like
body.
sectioning out the arms and like sectioning things off and having all of my verticals and horizontals. And then I can like establish where like my light sources are coming from and make sure all of my light rays talk. But like all of that starts at the very beginning with a grid that I draw on in yellow. Some clients are like, it just looks like you're making lines on me.
Yeah, I remember when you
am.
showed me how to do the isometric grid when we did the hexagon sleeve. I had a client who wanted to do all the hexagons, and I was going to stencil the entire hexagon arm on there, and then you told me about doing the isometric grid on the skin.
It doesn't necessarily save time, but
it definitely takes longer, but
fit.
Yeah, I couldn't have achieved that result without doing that, and that was my first step into doing these grids. So I think it's great practice to go back into.
Look at that bodysuit. Go back up to this photo. That one there.
That's a good photo.
Look at the symmetry of that.
It's insane.
I think I'd like to see my back next to this back because they'd both have like the same center point symmetry, top, bottom, left, right.
It's crazy what you achieve when you use the whole body, or at least even butt cheeks.
Yeah, butt cheeks to shoulders is a pretty big tattoo. I didn't really realize what I was committing to when I did it. I mean, I did. I was all in. I was ready to do it. And I felt like if I was going to get my back done, I should incorporate the butt. And that's because I didn't want to have like a white tushy.
Yeah, fair.
Tattooed everywhere, white tushy.
You know this guy's work?
I believe. Yes.
Do not know his actual name. I think that's so cool. These frames that he's making are fucking dope.
This kind of looks like some of the stuff you draw up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I found out about this guy. Someone showed me him after I was, they see my cybernetic stuff. I was like, oh my God, holy shit.
Look
It's
at
like
that.
the stuff
that brass
I
one
like
right there in the middle.
times a million.
Mm-hmm. The Codex Lab.
Stuff like this. That's so cool. Nice little cutting board. I want to get into epoxy. Different cool things with epoxy and sculpting.
After we're done looking at this one, there's another artist back on the
That's cool.
message board that Todd and I have been talking about for the last couple weeks. Sorry, I'm unplugging things.
There's a message on the message board.
Yeah, if you go back to the Tattoo Collecting Podcast message DM, go back to the DM.
Yeah. Go JR. Go JR. What are we looking for? I don't know.
Yeah, go to that one. Go up, right there. Boom. Tudin, this guy. Oh, so I discovered him, and then the next day Todd shared one of his pictures on the Skin Art Collectors page. Mind blown.
Wow.
Hashtag goals. This is like, if I could put what I'm working towards into, this is it. Scroll back up. Go back the other way. Go, keep going, keep going. This one. Look at those little
That's not
rain
real.
droplets.
That's not real.
Hashtag
That
goals.
shirt.
Look at that leaf floating in the puddle, the reflection, out of focus, in focus. I love it. I love everything about it. This is, if anybody wants a tattoo like that, hit me up.
Mhm. This one half underwater. Reminds me of the one you're working on yesterday.
Yeah, that's a really cool like Poseidon too. That's a like really fun twist on
It's a
something that we
little
see every
person.
single day.
Looks like a little person right there.
I mean, it could be.
You're like a little man hiding.
A man
behind his
hiding
man.
hiding
tell
on the
you what.
nose.
Maybe we've gone too hard on Blende.
5. I just love the way he's using the entire body, but he's just building these like fantasy dreamscapes where one piece talks to the next and it all becomes one cohesive thing. I love it. I love the way he's tying in different realms, different time periods. Oh, what? And there's the universe
We're gonna
too,
turn your-
with the
We're
earth
gonna
and the
turn your
moon.
butt crack into his chin. And in the best way. In the best way. It looks amazing. It's just so, I love it. Big pieces, how you just use the body.
But like, if you think about where his pants would sit, that would be a fantastic finish. So when he shows it off without taking his pants off, it fits perfect. Crazy. Look at this lava flow. Too den. Yeah, this is, Todd and I were both mind blown over this guy. This is actually what got me thinking to that we needed to like take a moment and start highlighting new artists that we had found. And I, it doesn't even necessarily have to be new artists, but
No, I 100% agree.
look at that
It's so
mandala
fun to look
back
at new
there,
stuff.
all that
It's fun to
ornamental
see
work.
like the state of where, like how people are pushing boundaries.
Mhm.
It's always on my mind is how is the next person going to push? How are we going to like, what's the next coolest thing going to be? Like how are people going to take things to the next level? And then just consistently blown away. Always. There's always something cooler. There's always something awesome. Someone coming up with something new.
Mm-hmm. And it's just amazing what can be done like with the same materials and same tools, essentially. Like we can all get the same machines, we can all get the same needles, we can all get the same inks. Like all of this stuff is available to all of us, but what is capable from like one person to the next with the same set of tools is just mind blowing. It's so cool. Like, and they used to say 10 and 15 years ago that we were at the tippy toe of the tattoo renaissance. I still think we're at the tippy toe of the tattoo renaissance. I think the things that are going to, like, the things that blow our mind now, we're going to be doing in a few years. So imagine the things that are going to blow our mind in a few years. Like,
I 100% agree. I 100% agree. Always makes me feel like, damn, and now as we get older too, and we get more comfortable in our careers, it's like, yep, still got to keep pushing forward because everyone else, is constantly pushing forward too. Everything's getting stepped up every year.
Eye candy.
Can never get too comfortable.
I just love how big this work hall is also. Well, that's an animation, but
So a fun thing to bring up real fast is I see our red tray thing is going wild, and I happen to catch some of the messages, and one of the artists there is having a problem with the client's BO, and he asked how you guys got, or Keith asked if anyone's got any idea of how to take care. Hopefully they're not listening to this. I doubt they are.
Suck it up, Buttercup.
Right? Like, do you guys have any recommendations of how to take care of the BO? And that's really funny. I'm not seeing all of them and what they're saying, but please wear deodorant and wash your armpits before you come in.
Well, to be fair, I do have some clients that come right from work, but like,
It's okay. I'd feel really bad if my artist was like, "Ugh," too, you know, that like,
I also
or if
feel
my
like that
artist
any of
was
my
like, here,
clients
you
that
need to
came from
wash your
work,
pits. Like that would be like,
my clients would probably hit me up and be like, "Hey, I'm coming right from work," and I'd be like, "Cool, we have a shower." You know what I
Right,
mean?
right.
Like,
did you bring gym shorts? Go get in the shower real fast.
I feel like I want to be my most clean for a tattoo.
I mean, back when I was doing like biker events and things like that,
Yeah.
like sometimes somebody would be out in the sun, like or they'd like ride their motorcycle
I
in,
think
so
you
they'd
should-
be in the sun and sweating and sun and wet leather, and then they'd
You-
come in and they'd like smell like.
Derb. You should put Sanoderm over it.
That is not the appropriate answer.
with a exclamated ha ha at the end.
Oh man, we've derailed. Collectors, show up to your clients ready to
I'm
get
dead.
up close and personal with your
Yeah,
tattooer.
our face can be up in your
because
stuff. So
yeah, like you don't have to go overboard and like douse yourself with perfume. Just wear like the normal amount. Like if I'm working on your arm, maybe don't wear deodorant, but clean. Be clean, but like, you know.
I have had clients where I consistently could smell them the entire thing, and I feel bad because I don't want to say anything, but it's also like I was kind of what I liked wearing masks for
Right.
because I would never smell it. They wouldn't have to smell my breath. I wouldn't have to smell theirs or any of that. I feel more exposed without the mask now.
I agree with that.
I don't know. I feel like I just apologized about my coffee breath and move on.
Yeah, no, I don't think too much about it. But when I have to sit and smell it the entire time, or if someone has BO, it's not that. It's honestly pretty rare that I have to deal with a client who has BO. I think most people are pretty good at taking care of it, and you know, it's not really a thing.
Every now and then.
But I do
though.
think if you have, if you,
Every now and
I
then.
think you should go, and if you're coming right from work and you do something dirty for your job, take a quick
take
shower.
it. Yeah.
Just
Take
the
your
extra
time.
time. Don't set your appointment like back to back. Like just give yourself that extra
Mhm.
half hour.
Yep.
Go do that because also you're, you know, that's fucking microbes that are gonna go into your tattoo and shit too.
It's so funny. That's the conundrum at the shop, and I hate to admit it, but I was ignoring the group message because we were live, but we were also sitting here like
I was
looking
staring at it. It's
at
coming
the
right there. Yeah.
the iPad that's got all the messages popping up on it. That's hilarious. It's been a while. Like I can't really think of a time that I had like a super sticky one. Sometimes clients will take their shoes off and say things about smelly feet, and I'll just casually take the alcohol spray bottle and spray their feet down and dab it.
Mhm.
Gone.
I think the hardest one I get, not BO, is breath. Really
Yeah.
bad breath, and like a talkative client who's
Mm.
just got real bad breath. And I'm also like enjoying conversation, but I'm also like, you know, like hold my breath like while they're talking, kind of, because they just don't know. And I'm not gonna be like, yo, your breath really stinks. 'Cause I don't know. I'm just not feeling that. You know what I know? I just want to keep tattooing. It's just
Maybe
just
put breath
hold
mints
my
out.
breath. Right. That's what I did. I offered gum. I put gum in my mouth and I was like, oh, you want some gum?
Good call.
Mhm.
Good call. I don't know. I haven't had one
Maybe
like that
that's
in a
what
while.
Keith should do. Want some deodorant?
Right? Yeah, yeah. Put some deodorant on. Be like, you know what? You need some of this? So funny.
I've got one more thing that I had highlighted for this week that I wanted to share. So Brian Geckel, if you go back to our message, Brian Geckel just shared this piece that is the most delightful mix of
I've seen this one.
bio and geometric and just all the eye candies. He's got warm and cool going on.
I feel like
He's
I'm in
got
like an
crazy textures.
alien beehive
Yeah.
where,
Ooh,
where they're
yeah.
kind of like they're kind of advanced and technological. Bees have achieved electricity.
That's
You really
how
took
far
a
you
lot
went
from
with
this piece. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. All right. All right. Go ahead and go to Brian's page. Let's take a look at what he's been up to.
There's no bees though, so it's been abandoned. What are we looking at? What are we looking for?
Go back to Brian. Go back to where you were. Go to Brian's page. Let's see what he's been posting lately.
Sorry, I was thinking about bees.
Oh, look at that. this eye candy.
Some
It's
Mandelbrot.
fractally delicious.
Don't
Is it the
encourage.
second-
Don't. You're gonna
seventh.
use it. You need to use it a lot. You already don't. Put it in your daily vocab.
It's fractally delicious. All right.
New
All right. I'll
tagline.
log it in. I'll log it in.
Love it.
He does such a nice job of mashing up styles just seamlessly. Oh, here we go.
Before the tech.
When you thought it was cool before,
Right. They were just bees then.
Then they learned electricity.
Yeah, right. And then they listen to techno.
we're just gonna go ahead and make this unbelievable. I really love what he does with women's throats. Like it's such a feminine part of the body, and I always like that he like plays with the gracefulness of that shape of the body.
Yeah, that's
I
awesome.
really like what he does with throat
Just
pieces.
big arches too. Such a simple flow, but it
Mhm,
becomes
but
so
it's
dynamic.
so graceful. Mm-hmm.
Mr. Geckel.
That him. That's the guy.
Damn. That's wild.
I'd wear something like that. So hard.
Mm-hmm. Bio. Some guy and Brian.
Mm-hmm. The way that those mandalas are drawn is kind of similar to how like the little wisps that are coming out of yours. They're like pinstriped but glowing at the same time.
Yeah, I can see that.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely reminds me of that for sure.
I like it. Oh, there's Forest Chest. Remember that guy?
So cool.
Isn't that amazing?
Oh, wow. It's just glowing.
Yeah, I had the privilege of judging at Hell City the year that they did this, and this piece was just so beautiful up close. This one took second, and it was up against a back piece that was done over 3 days. That one was done over 2, and it was just like, man, super tough decision.
Yeah.
Like it came down to such technical nitpicky things that the judges like ultimately decided over, where it was like, I mean, in reality, like they're both
Right. Top notch.
yeah. Yep. I love that white over black so much.
Half white, top half white on black. 2 passes white over the black. Okay. Fully healed.
Yep. That's
that
the
don't move it.
process.
It's there. I'd like to see that, months and months ahead of time, but I want so much patience to do all the
Mhm.
blackout.
Oh,
then
yeah.
to start doing all that.
Yep, for sure.
Probably what I'm gonna end up doing with this girl I'm doing all this blackout with. Probably a good opportunity. So Fawn, what's your idea on triple cover ups, then black, then white?
What's the question?
Okay, right, there's no question there. What's your opinion on going over the skin that many times, and how many times do you think you can really go over the skin until skin's just beat up? It's got too much ink in it in general. Is there a point in your opinion?
So this is why, as a collector, if you've already made a mistake once and you've already made a mistake twice, and you've already made a mistake 3 or 4 times, like when it's already been covered that many times, be picky about the artist you go to. Make sure you go to somebody who, how do I say this right? Make sure you go to somebody who can confidently saturate smoothly and efficiently. There are a lot of cool things that can happen with scar tissue with somebody that knows how to work with scar tissue. I've worked over tattoos and like they were super raised. And by the time I finished the cover up, it was like it wasn't as raised as it was. And it wasn't as noticeable as I thought it was going to be. I talked to Guy about this one time, and he said that they actually have like a technique that he uses to like calm scars down, where he'll just tattoo over them and he'll like just abrade the skin. And that's part of the magic of like tattooing in multiple passes. You know what I mean? He just over time keeps like with a mag tattooing the area, let it heal, do it again. And then as the skin heals around it, it all becomes like a similar amount of scar tissue. And then as it heals, it settles back into one another. So with the right application, some tattooers can help crazy scars become minimized just by the process of properly applying the next tattoo on top. So if you're just literally doing mag work and blacking out, like if you're worried about old tattoos being raised, if you're applying that tattoo smoothly and properly and you're not beating the skin up too much in the process, it's actually going to lay a little bit more flat by the time you're done.
Okay.
Is that your question?
I guess that, I mean, that I like that. It gives a good thorough description of things for sure. I guess, yeah, I guess any other thing in the question would just be, you know, is the skin still going to take the ink? Yeah, I guess it does answer the question, because it does the still ink. So when you're 5 layers of ink deep, is the ink still going to be, you know, is it going to make the skin super hard? Is it, you know, still going to take the ink properly?
In theory, scar tissue is always going to be either tougher or softer. A lot of times, like deep burn scars, stretch marks, things like that, they tend to be very silky smooth and very prone to like ink blowout because the skin's so transparent. But there are other scars where it's very thick and very tough, and you've got to almost like stretch the skin a little bit more and like work a little bit more slowly to get the ink to go in. Anytime I'm working on scar tissue, I'm going to run my machine incredibly slow, and I'm going to err on the side of caution at first. I'm going to just kind of feel out the scar, because every scar is different. How easy is it going to take? And like you could be working on one person in one area and say like you're talking about, there's multiple cover-ups going on. So one area could be heavily scarred, the other area not scarred at all. This other area is barely tattooed, but we got to do something with it. Each one of those areas is going to react differently when you tattoo over it. Like one area might welt up really bad. The other area might not react whatsoever. So just being like conservative and feeling out each little area as you go. You know, the first session, saturate efficiently, see how it settles. And then the second session, you might not need to do anything. You might need to come back over it again. Every scar is a little bit different, but with like your more experienced artists who have just been doing cover-ups left and right and like have been through it, you know, there's a level of there's a level of like, the more you do it, the more you know how to do it. But like, that's why it's so important to find a good artist, you know. We don't want to have 4-time cover-ups, but like we understand it happens.
Right. Yeah. So I guess what I'm going to be doing with her tattoo is definitely going to be working with like white over black and trying to create different shades of that. So I imagine us getting into the layer 7 and layer 8 range by the time we're like done. You know what I mean? Of having the whites over the blacks.
I mean,
2 passes of that white.
I feel
And
like you're
maybe-
just
and maybe if I
you're just
wanna-
worrying too much about how many layers,
I'm
because
not
it's not
worrying.
really
I'm
like
just-
layers like paint.
Just a question.
Yeah,
I'm not really
it's
worried
not really
about it.
it's not really layers like paint, like some people think though. It's not like a layer of tattoo and a layer of tattoo. It's like, well, how much trauma is there?
That's
How
what-
much trauma
see,
has
that's what I'm
healed and
talking
settled
about.
out? Like, it's not really about layers per se. It's just the amount of trauma that's been
Mhm.
applied to the skin. Um,
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's all. Good.
Be conservative, work slow. Anytime I'm working with scar tissue, I'm constantly reminding myself that the slower I work, the faster I work. You know what I mean? Like the smaller of an area you concentrate on, the more consistent you're going to be in that small area. Then move on to the next small area and treat each small area conservatively. But like take each like 50-cent size piece for what it is.
Yeah.
You know? There's no real like one trick when it comes to scar tissue. And like the back can be funny because the back, like you imagine the skin to be like soft and delicate, but like the skin on the back is really thick. It's the thickest skin on the whole body. So when you imagine what scar tissue on really thick skin must be like, what the fascia underneath that skin must be like supporting the scar, like in thick skin, it's different than like a deep scar on the arm because the thin is skinner and
Mhm.
the skin is thinner.
The thin is Skinner.
Yeah, the thin is skinner. And it's just one of those like with cover ups, you just kind of gotta take every tiny little bite for what it is. There's no one answer for the whole. It's each what does each little piece of skin need?
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. That covers it.
yeah, and if you're shooting for black, just one bite at a time.
Yep. Oh, we got a lot of black coming.
Yeah.
I mean, this is going to
Jordan.
turn out to be a full body.
Jordan, how do you eat an elephant?
One bite at a time.
Good job. That's what I like to hear.
It's got to take a bite. Go all in.
That was officially the last tiny little sip of coffee.
Yeah, I totally forgot to make pot.
I'm sitting here dehydrated, getting my merds mixed up. This is what he does to me. This is what he does.
Should we wrap up soon? You want a pot of coffee?
I mean, we've actually kind of touched on a lot of stuff today.
I think so.
We got anything coming up?
I feel pretty talked.
Are you going to try to make it to Chicago this weekend?
No,
No.
I don't got time for that.
I'm
I
still
got a tattoo all weekend. I got
I'm
Sunday.
still up in the air for Sunday. If
we going yakking.
I feel like if I don't have a super late night Saturday, I might drive over Sunday. So Saturday is my
7-hour
variable.
drive from here.
5.
5.
Maybe it was 5.5.
Last time.
We'll call it
I
5.
thought it was 6 or 7, but call it 5. I mean,
Yeah, we'll
that's
call
a
it
good
5.
estimate. It makes it sound way better.
Yeah, if Saturday's not a super long day, I'm gonna head over Sunday. So we'll see what happens there.
That'll be fun.
I really want to go. I just want to be present at as many shows as possible, just because I've got so many ideas rolling. By this time next year, I want to be like a presence in the middle of crowds. I want to be up on stages, like while tattoo competitions are going on, and I want to be like talking to the people who are being judged and like hear, because like they can't tell the judges the stories behind their tattoos, but like if we can talk to them and we can get them to tell the story about their tattoos, while at the same time everybody in the audience has our platform up on their phone and they're watching what's going on stage up close here at the same time, it's gonna be great.
Yeah.
And I really think that we'll be able to just set up our whole kit and caboodle on like a table. I think we'll be very easy to fit in and talk to people, interview.
absolutely.
I got so many. I don't know if we got to get the swag going. That's next. Stickers,
Shirts, lighters,
stickers, lighters,
pens. I don't know.
TCP. So yeah, I think so. Here's I guess what I'm getting at, Jordan. I challenge you and I both over the next couple of weeks to come up with like something that would be like a quick little thing for a sticker. And then I was thinking we could every few months feature a couple different artists, do something quick and little with the TCP with artwork around it, and
Can do that.
something that we could get some swag going.
Let's do it.
Yeah, I think the time has come. What episode is it?
I'll start
45?
reaping in some funds.
That'll come.
More for the podcast.
Yeah, that'll come.
I don't want a paycheck, but it'd be nice to pay for the things that we want to pay for on the podcast.
Yeah, the next couple of steps up in equipment and things are going to be expensive ones. So it would be nice to actually make a little bit of money, but that's not the
what we're here
motivation.
for.
That's not the motivation. If we were to throw in like travel cost and things like that, nope. We'd have to make a lot to
Yeah.
offset it.
Yeah.
So thank you guys for listening.
Right.
Thanks for listening,
Right.
making it worthwhile for
Right,
us.
please listen.
But I'm going to try really hard to
We
get
just
over
need
to
to eat.
Chicago, and then I'm going to just be jumping on as many conventions, even if I can only show up for a day or two. I want to start being as present as I can. Also, anybody who has a studio who would like us to come through and maybe do a remote episode from your shop, hit us up. Like, we're down to travel. I got a van within reason. I mean, we're in Central Ohio.
Yeah,
We can
within
go.
reason.
We can go a lot of places within reason. So, and then with travel and things like that happening, like we could always arrange visits on other road trips, and really start getting other members of the community involved. And I just feel like our experiences are so different, like regionally and from one shop to the next and one artist to the next. I just like sharing all the different possibilities, and
Mhm.
we
Yeah.
need everybody.
Lots of fun
But-
stuff.
So we're going to be trying to hit a lot of conventions.
Yep.
We got Tony Terrell locked in for next week. So we get to
He's
hear about
locked in?
Tony's
He's
collection.
coming over.
Yep. Tony's locked in
Tony.
for next week.
The man, the myth, the legend.
I have talked
The
to
homie.
Dustin LaValle,
The
who has a
manager.
shop up in Marion, Ohio, called Integrity Tattoos. And in the very near future, we'll be doing a remote show from his studio. So
Okay.
we'll
Okay.
get some wireless pieces and we'll be ready to roll, do mobile stuff. He's
Mhm.
also close enough that we can zip up there, breakfast on the way, and still be back by like a reasonable time.
Okay. Okay.
So there's some things coming up. If you want to be a part of it, hit us up.
Yeah.
Jordan, where
Yep.
can they find us?
Tattoocollecting.com or Reinventing the Tattoo.
Yeah. That's it.
Please go to
Hit us-
tattoocollecting.com.
Hit us up on the Insta. That's probably
Please.
the easiest way to communicate with Jordan and I both. If you hit us up on the Tattoo Collecting Instagram page, we both receive those messages. So makes it easy.
Mhm. Yep. Please
Lauren.
bless us with your viewing.
Are you out there in the ether? Can you hear us?
She's out of the ether.
She's out of the ether.
She gone. But
I
all right.
mean, we could just keep talking. The jackhammering started up again.
Yeah, let's definitely. Everyone's like, yes, please keep talking over the jackhammer.
Keep talking.
Like heavenly music.
You got anything cool coming up this
So
week?
they're getting tattooed. It's fitting to anyone who's listening that's getting tattooed.
Yeah.
Just getting jackhammered.
Yeah, for sure. You got anything cool coming up this week?
This week?
Yeah.
Yep. Tomorrow's big cybernetic piece, one of the ones that I showed.
Nice.
So that's tomorrow. Lots of big black fill on that. The next day is going to be, what's tomorrow? Friday? So Saturday is going to be the blackout project.
Nice.
So we're going to start some big swaths of blackout.
Swaths.
Big old 23 mag. 23 mag. If anyone out there's got those good old fucking 130 mags, let me know because I need it.
You know,
I also need a machine to push it because my freaking Cheyenne and my Zion have broken down now.
Did you show the piece you finished up on Tuesday?
What one was that?
The full under.
Oh no, I didn't. I should have. Forgot to send that.
It's
one.
okay. We'll get another chance.
Yeah, that was a good one though. She had a mastectomy, had her nipples removed, and had a bunch of scar tissue. Did two mandalas, and we did jewels in the center of that, and then underneath that was
So
like
you're telling
chandelier,
me-
and then side.
You're telling
geo.
me you just worked over all of that scar tissue and you're worried about scar tissue for a cover up?
I wasn't really worried
You
about
got
it. I
this.
was just wondering.
You
Well,
got this.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that was definitely much more challenging than what you'll experience.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah, I had to be so shallow and
Yeah.
like just careful on her skin.
Slow and slow.
Then we ended up doing a bunch of like white, or like the other day we did a bunch of like gray and white into the tattoo.
Nice.
It's
Okay.
fun adding a little bit of extra neutral grays into geometry or into like the black work. I like doing it, but it also can take the time up of how long it takes exponentially.
I don't know. It's all so different.
Right.
Each
It's
one's
just
so different.
exactly. It's whatever the project calls for.
Yep.
If we
Each
wanted to do it,
project's
and
so
that's how we
different.
designed it. Sometimes I'm like, no, we're gonna do some gray in there. But
Everyone's
it's gonna
different.
take some time.
Okay. All right. Well, you want to sign us off for the week?
Yep.
Join us next week
See you later,
with
guys.
Tony.
We're here with Tony.
All right. Have a great week,
Thanks,
everybody.
Emily, for coming on with us.
Oh yeah.
All right. Bye.